Okay.
Remember you're running up, because when I bring people up here and I start cracking your glass jaws, none of you will like it. When your jaws start breaking, people start chasing you out of this uni, none of you will like it. Watch your mouth, because you don't know who you're talking to sometimes. I know, listen, all that public eye bullshit, I ain't into all that.
I think you were talking about the pandemic there. Have you changed, you think, as a boxer or as a person during it?
100%. Like, when I first started boxing, my whole world just flipped on its head. Like, I had to really step my game up and adapt to this new environment. And then, so imagine I'm upside down now, and the whole world's moving at 100 miles an hour, so it's a bit of a whirlwind. And then with the pandemic, the whole world flipped on its head, which gave me a chance to now look up again. So I flipped on my head when I first started boxing. Then during the pandemic, where the world's flipped on its head, it's allowed me to resurface again. And I feel like in life, you always need to reset sometimes and go back to what the true meaning of what you're doing is, why you're doing it, reset with who you are, what your values are. And the pandemic's helped me do all that.
You're secure anyway.
No, Ben, it's gone past that, mate, because we've been here now since July talking, mate.
No. So I'm saying, if I can't get you that by the end of the week, then I'll just give you the 100 grand. But I don't want... I actually have looked up to you growing up. I don't want this situation with you. I think I can do what you want, but I've got to the point now where I feel like Sky have fucked me, and I know you don't care about that, but that I'm not going to fuck you. And I know you say it's gone past the stage, but if I put in a contract where I've got to deliver.
Got people on my phone that I haven't spoke to for 10 years. If I rang them up and said, look, there's 5 blokes outside my front door, can you come and help me? They'd be here. You know, so I've got plenty of people that would help me. We are ready to go. The Bosch bus is ready. One for balls on there. And Big John on tour. If you see us out and about, give us a beep. Bosh. Right, if I was on the phone to the local Chinese, it'd be egg fried rice special. Right, if I was on the phone to the local Chinese, it'd be egg fried rice, special fried rice, large. Plain chow mein, shredded chicken chow mein, large. Salt and chili king prawn, salt and chili chicken, kung po prawn, sweet and sour chicken balls, sweet and sour pork balls, shredded chili beef, beef in black bean sauce, mini pancake rolls, large pancake roll, curry sauce, 2 portions of prawn crackers. Bosh. We're in McDonald's, there's one question to ask. Who wants a fucking burger? Yeah!
I don't need to save money. I want to put on good fights. So that was a good fight for the zone. So I'm disappointed. But what is the point in signing up for drug testing if when you fail, everyone just goes, oh, don't worry about it, just let him fight, you know? Yeah. So, the argument of, well, it's all right with UCAD is totally irrelevant. You've signed drug testing with VADA, the best testing agency, in my opinion, in the sport.
I'm all over the world, whooping ass. You think I'm fighting a regular? You smoking crack. I got a family to feed. Get the bag. If you ain't talking about money, get the fuck back. I don't like fucking shit, but...
What we got here? The throwback lumberjack workout. AJ chopping the wooden block. What? Oh God. He's just created the modern boxing equivalent of Excalibur. Forget sword in the stone, we've got the axe in the log. AJ!
Sounded a bit like Countryside, that one. Okay. Nice laid back Essex vibe. Well done. Okay. Bit lazy, that one. Terrible. Big John here. I'm at the TalkSport offices in central London and I'm going to rate people's boshes. We'll see if they're any good or not. Bosh! Bosh!
Bosh!
Nice laid back Essex vibe. Well done. Bosh! Bosh! Okay. Bosh!
Bosh!
Bit lazy that one. Bosh!
Bosh!
Not bad that one, not bad at all.
Whenever you're ready.
Bosh!
Bosh! Whenever you're ready.
Bosh!
Bosh!
Pretty poor that one.
On the night. Secondly, I could have done this fight in many different places around the world. You can't do it. You know, you've seen the feedback, you've seen the response. He has to clear his name or he has to have his case heard. So what we are not going to do, and what we won't accept anyway, is just to go and get another license and put this fight on in December. No. Let's have the process, go through the legal process of Conor Benn, and then we see what the result is.
Like that and push. You outboxed the fucking best boxer in the world for rounds. You beat him at his own game. Your game plan was perfect. It's perfect. He nicked it just at the end. He nicked it at the end. He was stopping around. That's all it was. But that fight up until 10 was dead fucking level. You was outboxing the best boxer in the world. Just stop Rose, mate. You were Rose. Like you come out of that with victory, mate. Like you, honestly, you know, if there was any doubters out there now, bro, there's fucking none now at all.
On Saturday night, I'll be listening to Usyk versus Joshua, exclusively live on TalkSport, while I'm enjoying my Saturday night Chinese. Special fried rice, bosh. Special chow mein, bosh. Sweet and sour chicken balls, bosh. Sweet and sour chicken Hong Kong style, bosh. Salt and chili king prawn, bosh. Salt and chili chicken, bosh. Barbecue spare ribs, bosh. Roast pork Chinese style, bosh. Crispy aromatic duck, bosh. Chips, bosh. Prawn crackers, bosh. Curry sauce, bosh.
Yes, I believe we are live. Can we do a very, very quick sound check? Can you hear me loudly and clearly? Please press 1 in the chat if you can hear me loudly and clearly. I am not very well this evening, so I'm not going to be at my absolutely charming and funny best. Please bear that in mind as we go forward for tonight. By the way, anybody down there tonight at the O2 Arena, Ebony Bridges is not wearing very much clothing. She's putting pints. I thought she was a legitimate world boxing champion. Why is she very, very scantily dressed at the O2 Arena pulling pints on behalf of Conor McGregor? Ebony Bridges showed support for Conor McGregor's forged Irish stout while ringside at Anthony Joshua versus Robert Helenius. The IBF Bantamweight World Champion posted a picture of herself putting pints of the UFC sensation stout. Hopefully that's all she's putting tonight. Hopefully she's just putting Conor McGregor's pints and nothing else. Right, let's get ready for this. There was a bit of a glove dispute yesterday, wasn't there, between Anthony Joshua and Robert Helenius over gloves. I got back from the gym this morning and somebody started pinging me about this. Does anybody know what this was about? This is about gloves. Apparently, the gloves that Anthony Joshua had significantly less padding in them than the ones that were handed to Helenius or something, or what was going on, or something happened. Something happened with the gloves. I'm not trying to accuse Anthony Joshua of anything, but something definitely happened with those gloves. And in the end, Helenius opted to go for a pair of Anthony Joshua's gloves. So they should both be wearing the same gloves tonight. For the first time ever, apparently they'll both be wearing Dinardo gloves. Not a lot of padding. So we're expecting a very, very, very early KO. It is what it is. Please bear with me tonight. Sorry, I don't know how the graphics. So I haven't even got all the graphics up. I'm not all the way with it tonight, but we will do the best we can. Filip Hrgović versus Dempsey McKean. I haven't really watched this fight. I had it on in the background. I have to say, the performance of Dempsey McKean shocked me. He's been a sparring partner of Anthony Joshua for at least one of the Usyk fights, but I've kept an eye on him because he's been an Anthony Joshua sparring partner. I wasn't expecting that kind of performance from Dempsey McKean tonight, to be honest with you. I was expecting that to be, Filip Hrgović landing early and often and ending that fight as soon as fucking possible. I am fucking remarked to see how long that fight went. I find it remarkable how bad that fight was. And I just think Filip Hrgović is very, very lethargic in a box ring. Obviously a heavy puncher. I wouldn't write off Filip Hrgović because he's tough, isn't he? You just can't write off someone like Filip Hrgović because he is tough. You see him in that fight with Zhilei Zhang and you see him go through blood and thunder. I thought he lost to Zhang quite clearly, but he went through blood and thunder with Zhang, right? And then you saw what happened to Joseph Joyce, yeah, when he went through the rigmarole with Zhang. So I just feel that Hrgović, you still can't write him off because one thing about Hrgović, right? He doesn't go over easy. Would you guys say that? Press 2 of you to agree with me on that and press 2 if you disagree. No matter how bad Hrgović is, he'll stand up and he'll take his licks and he'll dish it out. You get some fighters and they're purely on top fighters. Hint, hint, hint. Anthony Joshua's about to walk out in about the next 5 minutes, right? But you get some fighters and they are just sort of on top fighters. But Filip Hrgović can dish out licks. And he can take licks, Filip Hrgović can take a beating for a round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. He can stand tall, he can take the shots, and he can come through it. He can weather storms, So I've got a lot of respect for Filip Hrgović for that because he has shown quite a few times in his career that he can weather the storm. Like when things aren't going right for him, when things are getting tough, he can weather the storm. And even though he looks a bit slow, he looks a bit lethargic, he looks a bit robotic, he has a habit of being there, doesn't he? Round 10, 11, 12. He's still there, isn't it? He's still there, and that for me makes him a little bit of a problem in his heavyweight division. Just a little bit of a problem. I'm not saying he's as good as the hype suggests, but I'm just saying he's a guy that, again, you can be on top of him, but he does punch hard. It seems like he punches hard all the way through from round 1 to round 12, and he can take a shot, can't he? And he's just there, isn't he? Like 9, 10, 11, 12. You might be outpointing him, you might be outboxing him, but he's still there, isn't he? He's still there. He's like, would you agree with me? Like, he almost sort of like Hrgović is almost sort of like a wish version of Vitaly Klitschko. I'm not saying they box the same, but there's just something about those two of them where I look at Hrgović as sort of like a Timu Chinese knockoff version of a Vitaly Klitschko. Are they technically great? Not really, but they're tough. Technically they're not great, but they can punch a bit, they can whack a bit. They can take a shot, and they're there, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They are there. You know what I mean? They are there. In the words of Josep Guardiola, we will be there. Round 11, we will be there. Jesus, I thought Anthony Joshua was about to come out to the ring. That's why I've gone live. I've only gone live because I was expecting Anthony Joshua to come out to the ring. Of course, I forgot, a fucking shot. Derek Chisora is set to make his way to the ring against former football player turned boxer, Gerald Washington. Gerald Washington, isn't it? Gerald Washington's a bit like a boxer quality street, isn't he? Like, you don't quite know what you're going to get with Gerald Washington, do you? Are you going to get the Gerald Washington that went out there and did a job on Joshua-Helenius, or are you going to get the Gerald Washington? Who did he get sparked out by? Was it Charles Martin? He's been sparked in his last 2 fights. He went out against somebody in a fight he was expected to win, and he looked awful. I can't remember which one it was, if it was Charles Martin or somebody. He just got fucking smashed to pieces. Let me go and cheat on BoxRec quickly and check his resume. But yeah, Gerald Washington, he's like a boxer quality street, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? You might pull out one of those delightful little chocolate cups with caramel in the middle, and then you might pull out one of those fucking them nasty fucking orange things. They've got them fucking orange, zesty orange chocolate thingies, which most people just fucking throw in the bin. Let me just check his resume very quickly. So we've got Gerald Chisora. We've got, well, I'll tell you what, hopefully Gerald Washington beats him up so much he does become Gerald Chisora, and hopefully calls it a day, because we don't need to see Derek Chisora in the ring anymore. Derek Chisora doing his usual, what's he doing? He's doing his usual pre-fight routine of just walking around the O2 Arena intimidating journalists. Press 1 if you agree with me, or press 2 if you disagree with me. What the fuck is wrong with this guy, Derek Chisora? Do you know what I mean? The man has a fight in 24 hours, 48 hours. The man can't seem to stay cool. The man can't seem to stay calm. He seems to enjoy walking around the O2 Arena intimidating journalists, threatening people, and just being a fucking nuisance in general. Do you know what I mean? Look, you know, with all due respect, even though we're both Brexiteers, yeah, you know, I have to say, Derek Chisora, yeah, my conservative brother, it would be best, yeah, if you did the right thing now after this fight, win, lose, or draw, and called it a day from the sport of boxing. Called it a day, and go. What's he got? He's got that farm. Because Derek Chisora lives in the countryside, doesn't he? Lives in the countryside. You know, become a farmer. You know, become a farmer. You know, become a farmer. You know, plenty of cows to milk out there. Do you know what I mean? Plenty of cows to milk. Plenty of grazing to be done. You know, well, I tell you what. Why don't you get yourself, Derek Chisora, a nice pair of green hunter boots, yeah, and one of them fucking tweed jackets. Get yourself a pipe. Get yourself a sheepdog, yeah, and start getting going. Do you know what I mean? And start actually doing something. Start producing something. Get, you know, produce fucking lamb. Produce wool. Produce something. Produce anything other than shit that I have to sit down and watch, yeah, live, yeah, on pay-per-view TV, yeah, anytime soon. Because to be honest with you, mate, your time has come. With all due respect, if you disagree with me and you still think there's a place, yeah, for Derek Chisora in the sport of boxing, please, you know, feel free to drop me a comment in the chat and let me know. But, you know, until then, you know what I mean? I think, yeah, after this fight, forget boxing for Chisora, yeah? No more boxing, win, lose, or draw. No more boxing for Derek Chisora. If my browser would fucking work, because Opera is a piece of junk, this is what he needs to do. If we can actually get to the right picture. There you go. That's what Chisora looks like. Chisora would look good to me, yeah? Back in his farm in Devon or wherever he lives. Derek Chisora would look good to me in one of these nice hats, one of these nice jackets, a nice bag, and that's what he needs to be doing. Herding fucking sheep. That's what Chisora needs to be doing. Or milking cows, yeah? Back in his farm. One of the two. Getting in a fucking boxing ring? I don't fucking think so. John Troutson says, I'd watch a Chisora's Farm Amazon series. It is what it is. Look at this hammer thing. What the fuck is this thing that the sheep herder's got? You definitely don't want one of them in Derek Chisora's hands. Let me tell you that right now. What's this hammer thing that the sheep herder's got in it? You definitely don't want one of those in Derek Chisora's hands. I was going to make another joke there, but I'm not going to make a joke there. I was going to make another joke. I was going to start referring to, yeah. Things that had happened in the past, but we've all got a past, and very few have got worse passes than me. So it's not for me to say anything about that. What are you guys expecting from Anthony Joshua tonight? Give me your predictions. I had a very, very quick 30. I've seen Helenius fight a few times, but I see a whole load of fights and I just forget about them, to be honest with you. Such as the state of boxing, particularly UK boxing in this day and age. I see a hell of a lot of fights. I just fucking forget them. It is what it is. We've got about 167 in the chat right now. If you'd like to please hit the like button, that would be fantastic. Gerald Washington is coming to the ring live on the Zone. I'm currently around a friend's house watching this, of course, because I always subscribe to the Zone, and I think it's important to subscribe to the Zone. Very, very anti-piracy on this show. So I've moved my entire fucking studio straight out of Warren Towers and into someone's basement just to do this show and watch the Zone today. So if you'd like to hit the like button and please give me support and up to 174, that would be absolutely fucking fantastic, because you sure as hell ain't gonna have to fucking pay to listen to any of my commentary tonight. I have a full-time job, so I don't need any super chat money from you guys. And I'm not fucking crawling up promoters' ass begging for fucking access. Cough, cough, cough. Where are we at? So Gerald Washington, who I've basically called in it. Gerald Washington, I think it was like Bill Goldberg, but without any ability. Press 1 if you would agree with me on that, and press 2 if you would agree with me. Gerald Washington, Bill Goldberg without any ability. Both fucking footballers, isn't it? Both footballers, both 150 years old, both turned to a second career at a very, very late age. It just happened that Goldberg actually had some form of athletic ability and talent, and Joel Washington doesn't have any, doesn't have much whatsoever. You would imagine tonight he's going to be a sucker for Derek Chisora's bum rushing overhand right style, which even the great Alexander Usyk, yeah, who the fanboys of Twitter inform me is absolutely unhittable. That's what they told me about Alexander Usyk. They told me that Alexander Usyk is absolutely unhittable, yeah? Even Alexander Usyk had problems with Chisora's bum rush and spam the overhand right. Do you know Chisora? Yeah. Do you know what he boxes like? Derek Chisora, yeah, at this age, especially at his age now, right? Where he's clearly not trying to get better, is he? I'm not being funny. Derek Chisora, no disrespect, gave up trying to get good at boxing a while ago, didn't he? Now he just goes in there and swings the overhand right, yeah, for a fucking payday. But I'm trying to find it here. Hold on. What is Chisora looking like? Yeah, these are like, is that Conor Benn? It is Conor Benn, so we're definitely not going to show that. But Chisora, he boxes like someone out of that Undisputed boxing game, which I'm trying to get you a screenshot of live now. Don't you think? He boxes like somebody out of this Undisputed boxing game, which obviously I don't play. Obviously, people say to me, "Ultra, what do you think of Undisputed?" So I think it's best to actually go to the gym and box for real, yeah, rather than bother. But Chisora's whole style reminds me of something out of Undisputed, isn't it? Like it's like he's spamming buttons, didn't he? What do you guys think? Press 3 of you agree with me. Press 4 if you don't. It's like Chisora. Just look at this. Like this is how Chisora fight. They're just spamming buttons, isn't it? Chisora. Bum rush and spam the overhand right. There ain't no defense coming from Derek Chisora. But we just out here spamming buttons, innit? A. You know, if Chisora was an Xbox controller, innit? If Derek Chisora was an Xbox controller, A, B. A, B. Innit? If Chisora was an Xbox controller, there'd only be 2 buttons, wouldn't there? A, B. Look, I'm gonna steal a good old joke, yeah, from Jason Walker, yeah, right? If we were to like describe boxers, yeah, as controllers, right? Then Alexander Usyk would be this, isn't it? Like you talk about like boxing controllers, yeah, boxers as controllers, right? Like Alexander Usyk would be one of these, wouldn't he? Alexander Usyk would be like a premium limited edition Xbox controller, wouldn't he? That's what he'd be in it. Premium limited edition. Look at all these buttons he's got. Like, look at all these buttons he's got here. Chisora. He's got 2 joysticks. He's got 4 bumper buttons at the back. He's got he can be wireless. He's got XY, AB, select, start. Look at it. So many different combinations. All the different combinations that you can do, yeah. With Usyk. Usyk would be like the Xbox controller, I would say, of boxers. And if I'd say Derek Chisora would be more like the NES of boxing controllers. To be honest with you, like basically come up on the screen, that's what Derek Chisora would be if he was a boxing controller. Just 2 buttons in it, A and B in it, A and B. It don't matter what you do, it don't matter what game you play, yeah, on the NES in it. There's only 2 buttons, A and B. That's it, A and B. What would A be? A would be that overhand right, and what would B be? I don't know what B would be. B would be bum rush. B for bum rush. B for bum rush. A for the overhand right. That's what Chisora would be if he was a controller, man. It's time, man. Time to say goodbye. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. It's time to say goodbye. Jesus. Oh, Chisora's coming to the fucking ring with a Barbie. Jesus Christ, with a Barbie dressing gown on. Oh, gee, is he coming out to that fucking Hotel California nonsense? One sec, let me turn this crap up. One sec. Yes, he is. Jesus Christ. They told me, Eddie Hearn told me that nobody wanted to see Derek Chisora in the boxing ring anymore. Well, this sold out. Sorry. Got a bad cold there. This sold out O2 Arena is very, very happy to see Derek Chisora come to the ring for the 150th time now. Coming out there. Let me see if we can get a bit of a live feed. Oh my God. He's got his daughters walking behind him on the way to the ring now, dressed in pink dresses. What's wrong with this guy, man? What's wrong with this guy? What do you guys think about Derek Chisora? He's got his wife and his kids coming to the fucking ring, yeah? Behind him, yeah, as he's watching this fight. Now, obviously, you know, we could You know, we can make wife jokes about Derek Chisora until the cows come home, and we're not talking about his wife's look. His wife looks absolutely lovely. It's nothing to do with his wife's looks, but we can make jokes about Derek Chisora and women until the fucking cows come home. But we're a classy channel, so we won't be doing that on this one. But yeah, Chisora versus Washington. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that this is going to be. I'm ready for the main event. To be honest with you, I don't know what you guys think. Give me a prediction, guys. Who are you going for? Who are you guys going for? Excuse me. Who are you guys going for? Chisora or thingamajiggy or what's it called? Gerald Washington. So I'm just trying to hook something up. Who are you guys going for to win this fight? So I'm trying to get some more graphics up for you guys. I apologize, and that's the reason why it is what it is. I'm on the independent at the minute, but I don't have much in the way. It's a bit better. They don't have much in the way of graphics. There we go. Sorry, guys. I didn't come very prepared tonight for obvious fucking reasons. Right, so we got this on in the background. Give us your predictions before this fight starts. Chisora or Washington? And hopefully, like I said before, the best thing they can do, I'm really hoping that they don't have, I'm hoping that they don't have national anthems, because we absolutely don't need national anthems for a fight like this. Right. Paul Sutherland is going for Washington. Well, how are you going for it? Points or stoppage? Richard Barker is going for Chisora on points. Skellington is going for Chisora round 5. Mark Stanton is going for Chisora if he points. Big shout out to David Diamante, who's obviously, as you know, come back from a life-threatening bike accident. So, like I said before, if anybody wants to light any candles in the chat, for David Diamante, I'm going to light a candle for David Diamante. I think he's an absolute inspiration, to all people across the world. Do you know what I mean? All people across the world. I hear even the soldiers in Ukraine are absolutely marveling at the bravery of the great David Diamante, who managed to crawl out of bed, from a quote-unquote life-threatening motorcycle accident. Within the space of about 5.5 days, the man was back on his own TV, screaming his lungs out again. Also, unfortunately, made his way out of hospital from a quote-unquote life-threatening accident just in time to do a world tour over most of Europe, in which he tweeted pictures of himself with a cigar in his mouth, traveling around some of the world's most historical monuments. So big shout out there to David Diamante there, as Yo King says, he's the $6 million man. Mark Stanton says, as he crashed again, he's like a Terminator 1000. Now he's only crashed. He's only had one life-threatening crash so far, mate. And like I said before, managed to get over that and get through that in the space of about 5 minutes. So it was what it was. Richard Barker says, my hip and thigh break was last December and it's still playing up. I told you, you need to go and see David Diamante. You're not working hard enough, Richard Barker. That's your problem. You need to get some inspiration from David Diamante. David Diamante had a broken back, was lying on a back in hospital, and with tubes up his ass. Never knew he was gonna come back again. 5 days later, he's taking pictures of himself on Twitter, traveling the world and smoking cigars next to A-star women. So look, Richard Barker, you need to get on the same pills that David Diamante's on. I don't know what pills your doctor gave you. Probably just sent you home with a bit of paracetamol. Maybe you need to start eating eggs. That's what you need to start doing, Richard. Maybe you need to start getting on it. I know a good farmer, near Derek Chisora, who can get you on some eggs that might be able to give you what you need. I can't believe that. Can I get a picture of Derek Chisora? I'm waiting for the independent. Let me see if I can get this up. Have I just seen Derek Chisora literally in a pink glittery pair of shorts with the words "girl dad" on them? Derek Chisora is one of the hardest men in the history. Listen, I'm just saying, he's one of the hardest men, in the history of boxing. But I'm just saying, innit? How did we go from War Chisora? Look, even the fucking BBC are commenting on it. Look at this. This is the BBC. Derek Chisora. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Oh, they just mentioned it. Now it's gone. They talked about his pink fucking shorts. Here we go. Derek Chisora is taking it all in as he ambles his way to the ring to the Eagles Hotel, California. He's in full pink attire. Is he latching onto the Barbie hype? Oh, my God. Unbelievable. Oh, we're about to get going. Let me turn this up. Pink gloves, pink shorts. Derek Chisora. Listen, I don't care how this fight goes. I just hope this fight is over in about a round or so we can go back to watching the real fight, antics with Joshua-Helenius. And straight away, you can see Chisora spamming the A button, which is the bum rush button, and pretty sure shortly he'll be throwing that overhand right any minute now. A lot of you guys like to slag off my bright red Everlast boxing boots, but as you can see, Derek Chisora wears exactly the same boots as that I do. So I keep telling you guys, yeah, that these red Everlast boxing boots that I wear are absolutely in fashion, and that the soles, I keep telling you, the soles are made out of Michelin rubber. So if you're interested, if you want to be in fashion like Ultra, and if you want to be in fashion like Derek Chisora, then these Everlast red boots that I have are the way to go. When I got them, they were exclusively in America. You couldn't get them in the UK. We had to get them ordered from Amazon America. In fact, Mrs. Ultra did so as well. So there you go. Baby Army saying his daughters picked them out. That's what's wrong with that. It is what it is. We're about 1 minute 55 seconds left in the first round. And as expected, Chisora is on the bum rush and he's looking for that overhand right. Washington's throwing the jab hand out, trying to keep his distance and tying up Derek Chisora as much as possible, which is a very, very good tactic. The one thing about Chisora is, right, he has a very, very good gas tank. So he's the kind of guy where if Gerald Washington is thinking that Chisora is going to run out of gas here in the next couple of rounds, he's very, very sorely mistaken, because Chisora definitely has the gas tank to take himself 12 rounds, as you saw in the Usyk fight. I mean, he did 12 with Usyk, who sets a very, very high pace. So the point I'm trying to make is Gerald Washington's employing the right tactics right now. He's holding out his lead hand. He's staying out of trouble. He's trying to measure the distance, and when they get close, he's trying to. Oh, Derek Chisora's caught him with something there. I think it was a left hook across the top of the head, and you see Washington's take a little buckle there. Washington's having problems, obviously, with the pace of the fight, and Chisora just loops the shots in from all angles, doesn't he? And that's the problem. Do you know what I mean? He's not a very technically skilled boxer, but the shots come from all over the place. They come from hips, they come from out wide, they come from all over the place. So it's very, very difficult at the minute for Washington to sort of gauge where these shots are coming from, particularly when he keeps leaving his jab hand out. You see Washington, and he's leaving his jab hand out. He's pushing that jab, and he's leaving that jab hand out. You can see he's going to be a sucker for the right hand over the top at really any given moment. You need to vary the jab hand with a guy like Chisora. Hold it out, stiff jab, pop jab, jab to the body. You need to vary that. You need to vary that lead hand, because Chisora is very, very good at coming over that lead hand with an overhand right, and then coming back across with the left hook. I've given this first round so far to Chisora. I think Chisora's kind of bullying Washington. Washington's got the right idea, but he's going to need to land something significant, and that so far doesn't look like it's going to happen. Chisora also landed a very, very good short hook to the body in that fight as well, in that first round as well, and that appeared to hurt Washington as well. So, like I said before, I've given that first round to Derek Chisora. Like I said before, I'm hoping this fight is over ASAP. Stuck in Kiev says, I defo wear those shorts to the strip club, would be legend. Oh dear, Albanian boxer, I can't read that shit. What are we saying? Let's have a look here. Spaceman 420 says, Robert will beat Joshua at big odds. Believe me, I've got 2,000 on it. Well, I'll tell you what, Spaceman 420 will be at the YMCA tonight. So if anybody's got a spare space on their couch, please spare a place for Spaceman 420, who's just stuck his last $2,000, yeah, on Robert Helenius, the KO Anthony Joshua tonight. From what I hear about the gloves, it gives me absolutely no confidence that Helenius is going to win. I mean, from what I've heard about the dispute in the gloves, it looks like AJ's going to be coming out with fucking knuckle dusters tonight. So, like I said before, if you want to, if you've got any spare room on your couch tonight, so you can help Spaceman 420, that'll be him tonight. That'll be him tonight after AJ's finished with him. Well, give me a shout and let me know about that. Abdul Amare says, Washington is gassed already. Did he even train? Listen, of course he trained. He's in great shape. But Chisora is a very, very difficult fighter to box, because sometimes, yeah, it's the fighters who aren't very technically good that are the hardest, because boxing's a physical sport, really. Do you know what I mean? It's a very, very physical sport. And it's all about, who punches harder, who's the faster, who punches harder, who's the stronger. That's really what boxing's about. you know, as I say it a million times, there are a lot of people out there who don't do any boxing and they think boxing is some kind of beautiful chess match. Like, you know, these boxing tacticos, the one that do all these stupid videos of all these boxers and stuff. And, you know, the boxing's like a chess match. It's really not like a chess match as much as you think. It really is about blood and guts, who's stronger, who punches harder and who's faster. And Chisora has actually got a deceptively quick foot speed in terms of, look at the pace he sets to the ring. He's constantly cutting down the ring. He's constantly moving his feet. He's constantly moving forward. Look at Chisora's foot speed in the ring. Can you see what I'm saying about Derek Chisora? Does he have a lot of ability? Oh, that was a good overhand right, left hook there from Gerald Washington. Good overhand right, left hook there from Gerald Washington. And I think Chisora is cut, and he's cut over that. He's cut over that right eye. So the left hook's obviously a shot. That was a nice uppercut from Washington, and we know Chisora is a sucker for the uppercut because we saw that in the Joseph Parker fight. But yeah, Chisora does set a high pace. His feet. He's constantly moving his feet. He quickens up his feet, and he cuts off the ring very well. So I'm just having a look here. We'll talk about it in a minute. Albanian boxer is saying he's feeling an upset tonight between Robert Helenius and AJ. So if you guys ever wanted to know when it's time to go on and lump the entire mortgage on an AJ win, you've had it there. Well, Albanian boxer saying he's feeling an upset. I'm telling you right now, go right now, to Labrooks, Go right now to Labrooks and put the entire mortgage on Anthony Joshua first round knockout, because that is what it is. Right, 38 seconds to go in round 2. I'm not really paying too much attention to this fight, but it looks a very, very good fight and a very, very interesting fight to watch. Chisora's foot speed starting to slow down a little bit. Gerald Washington starting to get a little bit more space and time, and he fired a nice little short chopping right hand, which landed flush on the side of Chisora's head, in that round. Chisora's cut again, and you can see Washington's beginning to pick up the uppercut on Chisora. I mean, Derek Chisora really, they say an old dog can't learn new tricks. That's not really true, but Derek Chisora is the epitome of an old dog can't learn new tricks. There's no knockdown there whatsoever. That was just a barge and a slip. But Chisora is looking very, very rough, in that ring at the end of round 2. And he's starting to get time now. And you can see Washington starting to pick him up and pick up that uppercut. Thing about Derek Chisora, and the point about Chisora is, Chisora weaves his head a lot, And we've said this before about Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora does weave his head left and right. But the thing about Derek Chisora is, if you watch him, even though he brings his head left, brings his head right, when he commits to punching, he always comes in on a straight line. So he may weave left, he may weave right, but he doesn't come in off the angle. He doesn't weave left, weave right, find an angle, pivot off an angle and find the shot. Chisora rolls left, rolls right, but his head always comes up. When he comes up to punch, his head always comes up down the center line. Always comes up down the center line. And for me, that makes him a little bit predictable for these guys, So like I said, he's quite one-dimensional, but you think, he's rolling left, he's rolling right. He rolls, but he always comes up on that center line. And you can time him with an uppercut up the middle, as we've seen many, many fighters time Chisora with an uppercut for. So 2 minutes, 50 seconds in round 3. It's getting very, very messy in there. Nice short uppercut, on the inside from Gerald Washington. Chisora's mauling a lot and the heads are going in a lot, but Washington's beginning to get comfortable with the pace. If you look at Washington's positioning in the ring now, you see Washington's holding the center of the ring a lot more, which tells you straight away that Chisora's feet are slowing down. You can tell by the position, of Washington. You see his back's touching the ropes a lot less. There you go. Big uppercut there from Washington. Jesus. That was nearly perfect. It just grazed Chisora's chin. Another fucking half a second, and he lifted Chisora's head to the moon there. Nice little right uppercut from Chisora. And if again you watch Chisora, when he throws those shots, he's always very, very unbalanced. The head coming over right over the front foot, which makes him an absolute sitting duck for the uppercut because he throws lots of loopy overhand shots from very, very far out, you see. Derek Chisora doesn't really set shots up behind the jab and bring his feet in and then go for an overhand right. If you watch Chisora there, you see it there 1 minute 53 seconds there. He leads off with an overhand right from halfway across the ring. His head comes over his front foot and his head leads his body. Where the head falls, the body leads. That's a new term, an old checkism that I've now got for boxing. Where the head falls, the body leads. And you see when Chisora's head falls over his front foot, it takes the rest of his body with him. And he's right there for an uppercut, short right hand or whatever. But it's getting very, very dangerous now for Chisora in this fight. And you can tell just by looking at the position now of Washington in the ring. And not only that, press 1 if you think my analysis is good, or press 2 if you think my analysis is bad. But what you will start to see now with 1 minute 15 left in the third round is Washington's now beginning to invite Chisora onto the ropes, you see? So Washington's now beginning to back himself up onto the ropes and invite Chisora onto the ropes because he's looking to time him coming in with a shot. So I've still got Chisora as the favorite because I don't trust Joe Washington, but the pace is now a lot more comfortable for Washington. You see, Washington now is a lot more comfortable going to the ropes. You see him now sitting on the ropes, staying on the ropes longer, and he's looking to time with a short right hand, short uppercut as Chisora comes in. You can see there, Washington's a lot more comfortable now in the ropes, on the ropes. A lot more comfortable. Before, if you look at round 1, round 2, he was getting ragdolled. There were shots coming in from all over the place. The shots were looping from all over the place. But if you look at it now, it's a lot more comfortable for Washington. And people said, did Washington train? I'm starting to think, did Chisora train? Because, but Chisora always looks like this, to be honest, in all of his fights. We'll have to wait and see. The bad thing for Washington, again, and this is what comes is his hands are low. And this is going to be a bit of a problem throughout the fight, His hands are low. And he is going to need to pick up his hands at some point because it's only going to take Chisora one shot to wipe this guy out, really. So, like I said before, look, if you're going to keep your hands low in the center of the ring, that's okay. If you're going to keep your hands low backing up, so be it. But I would say if I was Washington's trainer, when your back does touch the ropes, you're going to need to either go low, go small, get out, or bring your hands up. But you can't just start leaning back with your chin in the air. Press 1 if you think my analysis is good. Press 2 if you think my analysis is shit. That's one thing I would notice from Joe Washington. We all know it. Boxing's a very, very difficult game, right? Anybody can sit on a couch, and say, throw the jab, put your hands up. It's not as simple as that, Obviously, Washington's fatigued and it's a high-paced fight. So what I would say is this to Washington. If you're going to drop your hands in the middle, drop your hands in the middle. You're going to drop your hands going backwards from the middle, drop your hands going backwards from the middle. When your back hits them ropes, you've either got to bring your hands up or you've got to go small, get out. One of the two. Don't be getting caught on the ropes and leaning back, your chin up in the air on them ropes because Chisora will throw an overhand shot. He may miss with the overhand right, but then he come back across with the left hook and he'll put your lights out. He will put your lights out. I've got Gerald Washington winning the last, what are we in, 4 now? Round 4 or something? I think they're concerned about the cut on Chisora's eye. So they're just having a look at it now. It doesn't seem to be bleeding into the eye. You would never stop a fight on a cut like that because it's not, the blood isn't pouring into the eye. The blood is pouring around the side of the face. But you ask Tony. Tony is a master when it comes to knowing about the rules of boxing, cuts. Oh, that was a beautiful little short right hand from Washington. It was, Chisora at the end of the jab, he was just popping a nice little light jab, touch jab. That's what I say about the touch jab. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Why the touch jab is so important in boxing? Just allowed him there, the touch jab, to keep Chisora turning. He was just touch, 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 touch. He was turning and moving laterally, keeping Chisora turning, keeping Chisora off balance, and then he just let a nice little straight right go, landing clean on the side of Chisora's head. This is what I'm saying why a touch jab is so important, especially against a fighter like Chisora. Go and look at all 3 Tyson Fury fights. What was Tyson Fury's #1 weapon, Oh, big left hook there from Washington. Missed with the short right hand, came back across with the left hook. But if you look at what Tyson Fury's most effective weapon was, right, against Chisora, what was it? It was the touch jab, wasn't it? Touch, touch, touch. He just kept touching him upstairs, downstairs, and he was keeping Chisora off balance, keeping Chisora turning, and then he let go with a big shots, big uppercut, big right hand. That's how you box a guy like Chisora. The guy likes to come in low. The guy's constantly moving around and rolling. So you want to, like I said, keep him off balance. Touch, touch, touch. The worst thing you can do against a guy like Chisora, right? And this is what I'm saying, why touch jab is important, is coming with, a ramrod stiff. I'm not saying it's the worst thing, but I would be very, very wary of everything stiff against a fighter like Chisora, because if you overcommit, you can fall in and he'll time you. Let me know if that made sense what I say. When you're just throwing them little touch shots, it allows you to keep him moving. It allows you to keep moving laterally. It allows you to keep Chisora unbalanced. It allows you to keep his hands up and keep his hands high, which means he's not throwing hooks. Oh, good short right hand on the inside there from Washington. But if you do the opposite, what a lot of fighters do, and you throw everything stiff like that stiff Anthony Joshua jab, you run the risk of overcommitting, falling in on your shots, and then falling into a shot from Chisora. So Washington's definitely doing the right tactics in a minute. I like the way he's just popping out that nice jab and then just throwing a short shot off it. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Yoking is saying, how long did Chisora have to prepare for this? To be honest with you, Chisora is always a guy, to me, in every Chisora fight I see, he always looks like a guy who's on his last legs, but then somehow he does the 12. So As long as he's on his feet, honestly, I would still make him the favorite to win this fight because I've seen Joe Washington get knocked out a few times. And if Chisora lands one clean shot, I don't trust Joe Washington. But having said that, right now, I've got Washington up 3-1 and coming to the end of the fourth, to be honest with you. It's going to be 3-1. Chisora's not really offering any quality at all. All of the quality work is coming from Washington, to me. All of the quality work is coming from Washington. Abdul Amare saying, Ultra sounding like a British Jim Lampley. Well, Jim Lampley's never boxed before. I have. That's the difference between me and Jim Lampley. In fact, I sent a little snippet to Billy Nelson today. Man, I've got so much. I've been training a little bit, but I just keep putting on weight, and I don't know why I keep putting on weight. Right now, honestly, I look dreadful. I keep fucking putting on weight, and I look like shit. But I'll quickly show you in the break if I can get to my Twitter page. Just give me a sec. We're in the break now. Round 5's coming up next. I've got Gerald Washington up 3-1. How have you guys got it? So I've got Joe Washington up 3-1. Let me see if I can get what I look like shit at the minute. But here's my Twitter page. Here, as you can see on the right-hand side. That is legitimately what I had for dinner today. So what are you giving my dinner out of 10? This is the roast pork a la Queensbury with pureed potato. That's some bread sauce and some a Frank Warren rhubarb ketchup with green beans. Give me a score out of 10 for that dinner tonight. Mrs. Ultra cooked it and I plated it. We are 2 minutes 50 seconds in round 5. Oh, it's a 10 rounder. Okay. 2 minutes 50 seconds to go in round 5. A 10 rounder definitely suits Washington in this fight. Connor, you're giving me a 2 out of 10 for that dinner. I thought it looked really 4 out of 10. You don't like the look of that roast pork and pureed potato. Wow. I thought it looked superb. Chuck's coming back with an 8 out of 10. Skeleton's giving that. I thought it looked nice, but you guys not feeling it. Connor's saying it looks dry. It's not, brother. I can assure you it's not. It looks dry. That pork is absolutely superb, my brother. It comes with pureed potato and a bread sauce and a rhubarb ketchup. You guys not feeling it? You guys not feeling it? Cut the pork. You guys not feeling it? It's sliced. You guys can't see because of the presentation. Looks dodgy. Coming from Spaceman is saying it looks dodgy. I remember that comment, Spaceman. I'll remember that comment, Spaceman, when you're about to lose your £2,000 bet on Philip Hergovich. Okay, so you guys hate my food. All right, so this is me on the boxing ring earlier on today. Not looking very good, but it is what it is. We're just working on the footwork. So incoming in all the comments, yeah, from the wannabe boxers who are going to knock me out. Apparently, I don't punch hard enough. Good luck trying to land a shot on me, but it is what it is. But that's me today. I'm just working on the feet and angles at the minute. And I sent a message to Billy Nelson. I told Billy Nelson, I said, stop, please, Billy, tell Billy Nelson to stop stealing my southpaw footwork. That's what I said today. Tell Billy Nelson to stop stealing my southpaw footwork and giving it to your boxers. So there's me pivoting around the bag at the minute. So there you go. It's moving around. There's like my 10th round or something on the bag, my 10th round or something, but just pivoting, moving around the bag. Nothing major. It is what it is. It is what it is. So you can see that. Spaceman. I'm only joking, mate. It looks fine. No offense taken, Spaceman. It is what it is. Abdul Amare says, what do you weigh, Ultra? Too much. Too much. I weigh way too much in a minute. I've still got hands. I've still got quick hands. I've still got quick feet. Do you know, I'm not trying to say I'm good. I'm not very good, but I will tell you this now. It's a lot harder than it looks to move like that. That's all I tell you, innit? It's a lot harder than it looks to pivot around the target and move like that. So it is what it is. There you go. I'll leave it up for a little bit. Right, 33 seconds to go in round 5. Oh, did Chisora land a short left hook there on Washington? I think he did. Washington looks like he's in a little bit of trouble. He's hanging on a bit. Well, like a short left hook that come across the top of the head from Washington. Looks like he felt that shot. Chisora looks a bit emboldened by that. It is what it is. Right. Yeah, so there you go. That's me on the bag. But look, I've had it all now. I've heard it all. I'm shit. I'm garbage. I can't punch. What is it? I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do that to you. Yeah, I hear all these stories, innit? I just sit here laughing, innit? I hear all these fucking stories. I just sit here laughing, innit? It is what it is, innit? It is what it is. Cass Max says, anyone here tried VR boxing? We'll talk about this in a sec down the line, Cac, but I'm a big fan of it, and I'm a big fan of virtual sparring. We'll talk about that on another show. Can you please remind me, Cass Max, to talk about that on another episode, please? I would love to please see that. Talk about that. So if you could please remind me to talk about that, I'd like to, because virtual sparring, I think, is actually one of the most underrated tools I've ever I've seen in boxing. It's very, very good for visualization. Very, very good. Right, let's go back. Joe says, if AJ wins in 4, I win £150 on an ACCA. Now this fight has gone 5. So everybody, get your prayer beads out and pray for Helenius to win this fight. Richard says Washington is looking dodgy. It's only a matter of time in Washington. I've seen enough Joe Washington fights to know that you just can't trust this guy. You can't trust this guy. And Chisora's a guy, every time you see Chisora fights, it looks like he's about to keel over and pass out at any given moment. But the next minute you look at your screen and it's round 10, 11, 12. Just has a habit of staying in there. Chisora just has a habit of staying in there. And that's why I'm making the favorite to win this fight. How have you guys got it? Chisora versus Washington. Entertaining fight. How have you got it? This guy at the O2 Arena is saying, you just need to look at the faces of both men. Chisora is bloodied, breathing with his mouth open, blah, blah, blah. Chisora is looking every part of a 47 fight veteran, a man who made his debut 16 years ago as there. Washington times him with a lovely right uppercut, left hook. But again, Washington's getting backed up onto the ropes. Got to turn off them ropes. Turn, that's it. Let me give you a tip, yeah, guys. Press 1 if you think this is a good tip. Press 2 if you think this is a shit tip. For any of you guys who box, yeah, all right? For any of you guys who box, I've never had a fight, but I just do a little bit of sparring. But for any of you guys who box, when you come to the Ultra Tech Boxing School, one of the things we teach you is when you're in a clinch with a guy, don't get involved in a sort of a wrestling match where you're pushing and using all your energy to try and push him back, right? Don't waste all your energy trying to push the guy back and prove you're the stronger man. One of the biggest newbie mistakes in boxing. You get 2 guys get into a clinch and they spend the rest of the fucking fight pushing on each other, wasting all of their energy trying to show they're the boss, trying to show you stronger. Don't do that, yeah? When a guy leans on you, when a man leans on you, yeah, and he's trying to push you around, just simply turn. Use his weight against him, turn him, and you use his weight against him and let him fall around, take him off balance, and let him push against you, and then quickly just release and turn. Let him push against you, release and turn, yeah? And then you can maneuver him. By using his weight against him, you can maneuver him where you want him to be in the ring, instead of fucking sitting there and the two of you grunting like fucking bison, pushing against each other, going, and then the next round, you're completely gassed. Never do that, in my opinion. Let me guys know what you think of this tip. Plus Sportive doesn't like that tip, but I think it's a good tip. Trust me, I've seen it in the boxing gym, and it does work. It does fucking work. Connor says Chisora will have some serious CET when you retire. When he retires, well, I don't want to be disrespectful to Derek Chisora, but with the amount of brain cells that he has left, would CTE make a difference? To be honest with you, I mean, the man can barely string 2 fucking words together as it is anyway. So I think we're at the point. I think we're sort of gone past the fucking thing. I think we've gone past it. So it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. Let's have a look here. Where are we at? 21 seconds left in round 6. No, I'm just being honest, didn't it, with Chisora? I mean, I'm just being 100% honest. Would you be able to... Don't make me do a poll. Just tell me right now. If Derek Chisora had CTE, would you notice any changes in his behavior? Yes or no, right now? If it's a debate, I'll start a poll. But let's be honest. If Chisora had CTE, would we notice any change in his behavior? Yes or no? How can you tell the difference? I'm just being honest with you. Like, how can you tell the difference? You know, the guy's a few sandwiches short of a picnic as it fucking is. Let's be honest with you, innit? Do you know what I mean? The guy's a fucking few sandwiches short of a picnic as it is. So, well, what can we do? What can we do around here? I mean, look, we've got 200 people in the chat right now, right? Well, you're here for a reason, innit? Like, you want to hear me tell you how it is, right? Or what? You want to hear me tell porky pies, innit? What do you want me to do, innit? There's no difference. There's no difference. Guys, how have you got this fight scored? Chisora versus Washington. And where's my backstage footage of Anthony Joshua? I see Anthony Joshua come to the ring, today. And he only had 5 people in his entourage. I don't know if you guys saw that, but Anthony Joshua's entourage looking trim. So AJ don't appear to be handing out, them $1 million checks and fucking 258 gold chains like he used to. Because I saw Anthony Joshua rock up to the arena, and the man just had fucking Freddie Cunningham and like 5 people with him. A few handlers and that's. I remember AJ in his prime. Ran about the Joseph Parker fight. Used to rock up to stadiums, not the O2 Arena. AJ used to rock up to Cardiff Stadium with about 750 people in his entourage. He used to rock up looking like P. Diddy. Not anymore. It is what it is. Sports Fan 2000. has got it 4-3 to Washington. Let's have a look here. Yeah, Grok saying Joshua watching the pennies these days. It is what it is, isn't it? What score have you got for it? I'm going to pay a little bit more attention right now. I'm just having a little bit of a closer look there. Washington it's good. It's a 12 rounder for Washington. That's all I can say, because he's breathing out of his mouth and he looks like he's in a, but we'll have to wait and see. He's definitely put the work in, though. They asking, did Washington put a training camp in? Absolutely. But Washington is looking fucking not hurt. He just looks gassed, Washington. I have to say, I haven't seen Washington really throw anything significant. It's been 1 minute gone now in this 7th round, and I've seen nothing really significant from Washington so far. So it was what it was, isn't it? It was what it was. It was what it was. You know what? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I did see a man come in this chat and slag off my pork and puree potato dinner. You know what? I had to give the man a ban, because don't lie. I know you eat out of that bargain bucket down at Tesco's. Don't come at me with this fucking nonsense criticizing my food. I know you be one of them people, fucking waiting for the yellow sticker food in Tesco's. Don't lie to yourself, bro. Are you mad? I know you be fucking sitting in Tesco's, fucking waiting, 9 o'clock at night for the yellow sticker food to come out in that bargain bucket. Don't fucking lie, Don't start trying to front it because you're on my channel trying to make fucking smart comments, bro. With your little shitty, with your little shitty double barrel name. You know who you are. You know you just took that L in it with your little shitty double barrel name. Don't talk shit, because I know you be buying the fucking yellow sticker stuff and you be buying that fucking orange brand Tesco basic shit. I know your kind of people. I see you kind of people all the time, innit? Every time they bring out the yellow sticker food, there's a fucking brawl that needs starts out. Brother, I shop in fucking M&S and Waitrose, So you can take your double barrel name and you can take it where the sun don't shine, my brother. There you go. I thought I'd add that one in. I'll be back in just a second, Let me just go and get a quick drink. I'll be back literally in a quick 10 seconds. What do we play? What is it we play? Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in literally 10 seconds. But this is a one-man operation. What video is it? Yeah,
Who's going first? Freestyle Sunday!
Who's that chilling in the range? Me and them boys, I swear down, we ain't the same. Tell them boys, really and truly, it ain't no game. Man, they're really about this life, but they got no aim. I'm about to squeeze. Eating up the rhythms like I eat my dinner. Punchy on the mic, you know that I'm the winner. Them boys are some learners, some beginners. When I'm on the mic, you know I really go in. Man, I try to. Anyway, like my dude. When I'm on the mic, man, they're confused.
Sorry about that. We are back. Right. Where you at? Yeah. These dudes talking about. What is man talking about? Double barrel name, but you fucking waiting for the yellow sticker food to come out. Stop fronting. Stop fronting. Stop fronting. Right. Back on the zone. There you go. It looks like Derek Chisora has landed quite a big overhand right there on Joel Washington. I didn't see any really significant punches being thrown by Derek Chisora. Being thrown by Joel Washington in that round. I do have some new intro videos, guys, but I haven't had the time to put them up yet. So maybe if we still have a YouTube channel next week, I'll show them to you. But I do have a couple of new Big John intro videos coming your way. I'm not really well today, and you can see I'm quite grumpy, innit? I'm quite grumpy, so it is what it is. Casmax says, for the food snobs, what is better? No frills or best one, just out of date, extra Tesco special range? Look, it is what it is. I don't mind. You can shop wherever you want, innit? Oh, that was a good left hook there from Derek Chisora. A good left hook there from Derek Chisora. Long left hook, but it looked like it just clipped the top of Washington's head. Washington there with a good short right hand of his own there. Washington looks really good when he works with that touch jab. Touch. And Chisora was trying to roll left and right to avoid the jab. And then when he had the timing right, he just slotted that short right hand and landed it clean. But I think Derek Chisora is going to steal this fight on points. I don't know how you guys think. I don't think Washington's throwing anything significant in the last round or two. So I think Chisora is going to steal another fight on points. He does set a high pace. It is what it is. Ultra, have you seen the video, the Joshua video with him banging on about cold showers? No, I have not. Dave Allen says, Derek is in a war. Thought he would have done better, making me tired watching this. It's for Chisora. Every Chisora fight's a war, isn't it? Every Chisora. The thing about these Chisora wars, they're very scrappy, aren't they? Chisora wars are wars of attrition, aren't they? What would you say about that? Like, you get some wars and there's a lot of clean punching, like two guys that are both landing bombs, landing a lot of clean punching. But Chisora fights aren't really like, they aren't like that. No. They're not wars of clean punching. They're wars of attrition, aren't they? So, like, who can miss the most punches? Who can hit the most arms, gloves, and elbows? Who can put the heads in the most times? Who can throw each other on the floor the most? Who can fall over their shots the most? You know, for me, his fights are absolutely garbage to watch, and that's why I want to see him retire from the sport of boxing. But it's not my fault. You guys keep fucking, encouraging him. Telling him he looks great in his fucking pink Barbie shorts and singing Hotel California and shit. You know what I mean? Same old English fans, English boxing fans, keep encouraging this guy to fight. Derek Chisora should have retired about 5 years ago. Derek Chisora should have retired after David Haye took a tripod and smashed it over his head. Yeah? After the Chisora versus Vitaly Klitschko fight. That's when Chisora should have retired. Press 1 if you agree with me, press 2 if you disagree. Chisora should have retired when David Haye picked up a tripod and smashed it over his head. Yeah? In Germany. And then David Haye done a runner and he had half of the German police after him. And then he took a secret flight here from Germany to England. And Adam Booth was... fucking Sky News was turning up on Adam Booth's doorstep saying, where's David Haye? Adam Booth saying, I've got no idea where he is. And he knew where David Haye was. Do you remember that? The Sky News turning up on Adam Booth's doorstep. Where's David Haye? I've got no idea. He knew where David was the whole time. David got a private jet out of Germany and sneaked out of there before he could get arrested because he had half of Interpol, innit? David Haye had half of Interpol after him, innit? For smashing a tripod over someone's head. Don't fuck with David Haye, man. David Haye's not a game. Got in David Haye's face, man. David Haye, you don't get in David Haye's face like that, man. David Haye ain't about the games, man. And then Don Charles couldn't eat for a week. No lie. Do you remember Don Charles? He admitted it. He said, I was drinking out of a straw for a week. Innit? Chisora and Charles tried to bully, didn't they? But they ran into the wrong guy to bully, man. Don Charles and Derek Chisora tried to bully David Haye. You can bully me, but you can't bully David Haye. David Haye, the wrong guy, man. Next minute, all you saw was right hands and tripods all over the place, mate. Don Charles, man, couldn't eat solid food for a straight week. That was the time for Derek Chisora to bow out of the sport gracefully, innit? He should have bowed out of the sport gracefully back then on Box Nation. Fucking turn on fucking the zone, fucking 5 years later, the guy's still fighting. Bow out of Box Nation, man. He should have bowed out with Box Nation. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, M&S pressed. Apple juice with elderflower. Oh, superb. What round are we in now? Round 9 out of 10. Guys, how have you got it with the scores? Tell me what scores you've got. Haye's interview with Kay Burley's there because Kay Burley wanted David Haye. That's why, because David Haye is a machine. Do you understand? David Haye is a machine, mate. You know what I mean? David Haye's a machine. When she got David Haye on Sky News, yeah, and she's saying about, what did you say, David, about Audley Harrison? It was terrible. And David Haye just said, look, what was David Haye talking about killing people, wasn't he? Stamping on people's heads and shit. What did he say? Was that the wrong? He was talking about stamp on a man's head. You can see Kay Burley's panties getting wet, mate. Because that's what women love. Women love violence. Not my woman. That's why she's with me, because I'm a pussy-o. But I'm saying most women love violence. And we all know it's true, innit? Is that wrong or right? They love violence, innit? See Kay Burley's fucking dripping from the fucking crutch when David Haye started talking about, listen, if a man breaks in your house, what are you going to do? You're going to stomp on his head, innit? And Kay Burley was giggling along. Oh, David, you can't say that. She fucking loves it, mate. She loves it. They love it, mate. They love it. It was what it was. Last King of Scotland says, Haye the machine, Belly broke the machine. Yeah, well, veganism broke David Haye. I don't think Tony Bellew ever beat David Haye. I think veganism is what beat David Haye in a fucking ring. That was the problem. David Haye needed a fucking steak and he was busy having protein shake. What the fuck was he playing at? Fucking David Haye fucking living on fucking Holland and Barrett food. Might as well have been a fucking rabbit, innit? Living on rabbit food. Can't expect a man to go in a ring and fight, yeah, when he's living on rabbit food. Can you? That was the problem with David Haye. Veganism beat David Haye. Not fucking Tony Bellew, but that's my opinion. It was what it was. Yeah, some of these comments I can't read out. Right, guys, seriously, what's your score for Chisora versus Washington? I ain't even got this on right now. And if anybody follows Tony, can somebody ask Tony if he's planning on making a fucking appearance tonight? I know Shevan's supposed to be coming on, but if anybody has a connect for Tony, because you don't seem to want to give me one, but if anybody's got a connect for Tony, can somebody ask him if he plans on showing himself tonight? and that'd be fucking fantastic because I could do with the support. To be honest with you, could do with the support. 40 seconds left in round 9. Let's see how the BBC have got it. We'll be close to, if not beyond, 11 p.m. when the first bell of the main event rings. It appears Matchroom, we're banking on some early knockouts tonight. Oh, this is interesting. The BBC have got a little headline here saying boxing clearly has a doping problem, with a fucking massive picture of Anthony Joshua on it. I think the jokes write themselves, don't they? Sometimes in life, these jokes just write themselves, don't they? It was what it was. Chisora, has he saved the card for you tonight? What would you guys give the fight out of 10? Do you think this is an entertaining fight? Or how do you feel about it? What's this? Sonny Edwards versus Jesse Rodriguez in a world title unification fight on December the 16th. Amazing. Conor McGregor is bringing his own chicks to the fight. That's what Conor McGregor does. I don't know why Michael Benson is shocked by multi-millionaire fighter / celebrity having access to any woman he pleases on the planet. But obviously, Michael Benson's a guy who hasn't seen sunshine for the best part of what about a year and a half, isn't it? So it is what it is, isn't it? Michael Benson hasn't seen sunshine. Probably with his Care Bears before he goes to bed at night, innit? The guy lives in a completely different fucking world. Let's have a look here. ABB says Chisora is odds-on favourite to win. Yeah, I think Washington lost it, didn't he? With the activity, there just wasn't enough activity in the last couple of rounds. So what we're dealing with here, we're dealing with another scrappy Chisora win, and what we'll be seeing in back in September, innit? That's my new one for Matchroom, innit? Back in September. Everybody's back in September. Press 7 if you agree with me on that. Press 8 if you disagree. Why is it with Matchroom? That's like their phrase, isn't it? Back in September. Everybody's back in September. No, I love the Lord Jesus Christ, yeah, and I'm a big Christian till the end of time. But if you asked fucking Eddie Hearn and Frank Smith about Jesus Christ and if he died on a cross to save our sins, they probably tell you he's back in September. Why is everything back in September? On Matchroom, he's back in September. Everybody back in September. 2 minutes 25 to go on the last round of Derek Chisora versus Gerald Washington. I hope all these muppets in the O2 are going to give Chisora a fucking standing ovation for another scrappy night of boxing. Jesus fucking Christ. We're going to see another 10 years of this thanks to these fans, aren't they? It is what it is, isn't it? Right, let's have a look here. Grok says, with the money Saudi have, you would think they would pay Washington a bit more to take a dive. Yeah, just put us out of our misery. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Put us out of our fucking misery. I don't want to watch this, and I'm sure you guys don't want to watch this either now. It was a good overhand right there from Chisora. Good overhand right from Chisora. I think Washington's given up the ghost now. Washington just wants to survive. Spaceman says the ref's done more damage than the Warlord. Mark Stanton says Chisora is going nowhere when that Saudi money is being talked about. Jesus fucking Christ. It is what it is, isn't it? It looks like we're stuck with Derek Chisora. A bit like herpes, isn't it? It looks like we're stuck with Derek Chisora for the fucking long run, aren't we? Yeah, Sean Medieval. Oh, Derek Chisora. All these idiots in the O2 Arena. This is the reason why, yeah, we can't seem to get rid of this guy, isn't it? You know, and we're sort of destined for another 3 to 4 years of this guy stumbling around the fucking ring, you know, falling over his shots. Oh, Derek Chisora. Oh, Derek Chisora. Hopefully Chisora don't fire me because he will take my head clean off. Like, it is what it is. Abdul thinks this fight might be a draw. They ain't giving no Joe Washington no draw, surely. They ain't giving Joe Washington no fucking draw in this fight. 45 seconds to go, and hopefully we can get ready for the main event. It is currently nearly 11 o'clock at night, so we're getting into Frank Warren territory, aren't we, here? Do you not think? We're starting to get into Frank Warren territory down here at the O2 Arena. 11 o'clock, still no main event, isn't it? It's funny, isn't it? They used to slag off Frank Warren for many years for doing that. It's funny how boxing goes in circles, doesn't it? Do you not think? Do you not think? So funny how boxing goes in circles, man. Boxing goes in circles. For years and years, they used to criticize Frank Warren for starting his main event late. Anthony Joshua going to be coming out at 11 o'clock, yeah, to fight Robert Helenius. What's your prediction for the fight? I've only seen a little bit of Robert Helenius to refresh my memory. I'm going to go for Anthony Joshua in round 3. That was a lovely short right hand from Gerald Washington, who's trying to finish the fight. But where was that right hand about 5 rounds ago? Anyway, this fight's over. Chisora gives him a nudge. It is what it is. Tony Bellew is standing up for some reason I don't know. Be interested to get a snippet from Tony Bellew about Dillian White's VADA tests, wouldn't we? It'd be nice if we could get a nice soundbite from Tony Belly on Dillian White's VADA testing, because that's an issue that ain't going to go away anytime soon. I know Matchroom are hoping it goes away, but I'm here to tell you today, once we find out what the substance is, that isn't going to go away. And let me quickly say this while we wait for the scorecards to come out. That what I told you earlier this week when I reported that it looks like Matchroom are beginning to throw Dillian White under the bus, right? There was a story reported by Boxing Scene this week, which kind of went along the same lines. They think that Hearn is starting to distance himself, from Dillian White. I think there's going to be some consequences for that. Here's why. This week there was supposed to be a purse bid between Fabio Wardley and David Adele for the British title, which to me is not a big fight, but it's kind of a trade fight. It's an interesting fight for people in the trade. And that fight now has not gone to purse bids because Fabio Wardley is in discussions over doing a deal with Queensberry. Now, Eddie Hearn is saying that he thinks Fabio Wardley will sign a one-fight deal with Queensberry. We'll wait and see what happens. But some people are speculating that relations between Dillian White and Matchroom could be, there's no evidence, but they're just speculating that there could be an all-time low because Dillian may feel that Hearn is absolutely throwing him under the bus. If you look at his treatment of Conor Benn and how much he fought for Conor Benn's career versus now what appears to be happening to Dillian White, I think the writing is looking to be on the wall for Dillian White. So obviously he's a manager of several fighters. One of them is Fabio Wardley. And some people are speculating that he's happy for Fabio Wardley to no longer fight on Matchroom. So stay tuned for that. It looks like Wardley versus Adele will happen for the British title, but at the minute, it's looking more likely that it's going to happen on a Queensberry card with Fabio Wardley signed under the Queensberry banner. He's in discussions right now with George Warren over a deal, which is why there has been no purse bid. Right. Fabio to boxer, Richard? Is that what you've heard? Okay. I don't know about that, but listen, I know Ben Shalom wants him, but last time I heard he was in discussions with Queensberry. But what you think he's talking to Ben Shalom? Anybody, let me say this right now before we move on to the main event. Anybody who signs with Ben Shalom over Queensberry, you have to be off your tits. All right, that's all I got to tell you right now, because Boxer's a mess. Ben Shalom and Boxer and the whole way that organization is run is a mess, and I say no more about it. Look at what's happening to Richard Riakporhe. Look at how they've managed Fraser Clark. It's a mess. Let's have a listen to these cards. All three cards. Unanimous decision, Derek Chisora. Yeah, same old shit, innit? Oh, Jesus Christ. How can people pay the O2 Arena for a ticket to this garbage? What were the cards? I didn't want to, I didn't see them. What was the unanimous decision? What was it? What were the scorecards? Jesus Christ. Genuinely, I'd like to see Chisora call it a day, you know. I don't think this is doing any good, for anybody, to be honest. Michael Benson's quick to tweet. Let's see what the Bensonites think about that fight. Wasn't that wide? So they're complaining about the cards being wide. Anthony Joshua is backstage with Derek James, getting ready for the Joshua-Helenius fight. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Derek James. Anthony Joshua recently said that Robert McCracken never taught me defense. I hope Derek James has taught him some defense tonight, because we ain't seen much defense from fucking Errol Spence in that fucking Terence Crawford fight. It was what it was. Oh, no, I agree with those cards. 97, 93, 96, 94. I mean, look, give or take around, that seems to be okay to me. I don't think it's that bad. Those cards are that bad. Do you know what I mean? 97, 93 seems bad, but one round a piece and all of a sudden it's 96, 94. Look, Washington didn't do enough. You know, it is what it is. We know Chisora is going to carry on and on and on until somebody puts his lights out. We know that, innit? You know, Derek Chisora is going to continue on and on and on like Ariston until someone just finally puts his lights out. Tyson Fury jumped on pay-per-view and couldn't put his lights out. So it was what it was. Maybe we really do have to see Chisora versus Wilder to finally get an end to this fucking saga. It is what it is. But Derek Chisora turning 40 in September. Michael Benson saying he'd love to see Chisora take a bow. No chance, mate. Absolutely no chance. As long as these mongs keep throwing money at him and going, oh, Derek Chisora. That ain't never going to happen. That ain't never going to happen, mate. Oh, Derek Chisora. Fucking hell. Right, let's have a look here. Sean Medieval says, I wonder if Hearn wants Chisora to fight Wilder soon. It is what it is. Mark Stanton says McCracken didn't need to teach defense with the folks AJ was going in with. Right, let's get your predictions in. Let's get the poll up. We have got 208 people in the chat. If you'd like to be a part of the chat, please feel free to subscribe. Can you guys do me a favor? If you haven't hit the like button, please feel free to hit the like button now. Now we're going to do the official pre-fight poll. Who wins? Plain and simple. I'd like to tell me in the chat how they win as well. And then we can go through your comments and see if you're right or you're wrong. So now it's time to put up or shut up. Anthony Joshua versus Robert-Helenius. Who wins? Poll is in the chat. If you're on YouTube right now, vote. Forever have your say, or say your piece. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Let me get this poll up on the side actually, so I can see the results here. Get that poll up. Anthony Joshua or Robert-Helenius. To be honest with you, I would never write off Anthony Joshua in a fight with Deontay Wilder because I think AJ has the one-punch power to hurt anybody and get anybody in trouble. And we know Deontay Wilder is not a great boxer. And we know that Deontay Wilder has been outboxed by far worse people than Anthony Joshua. So I'd always make Anthony Joshua a very, very live threat in a fight with Deontay Wilder. Having said that, this Robert-Helenius fight is a fight. Oh, Toby, I hope you're good, Toby. Good to see you. This fight is a... Oh, Toby, what do you think of the new graphics, Toby? Toby, what do you think of the new graphics, by the way? This fight is a fight really that Anthony Joshua should be looking good at. For me, from what the little bit I've seen Robert-Helenius fights in the past and I've forgotten about him. I had a quick little look at him today. Helenius is a very, very upright fighter. He does something which is just, he leans back off the jab. He leans back. When we talk about active in offense and active in defense, whenever you hear me talk about active defense, what I mean by active defense is the following. You can't have one stock guard. Yeah, you can't have your hands in one position, yeah, and you never ever change your hands out of that position, right? When you have your hands in a guard, when an overhand right is thrown at you, you need to change your guard, you need to adjust your guard, you need to tuck your elbows in, you need to bring your hands up to make sense. Robert-Helenius has one of these things where he doesn't seem to have an active defense. He seems to have one guard, and that's the guard he goes with. And when you try and throw a jab or a right hand at him, he tends to lean back. Doesn't even adjust his hands to try and block the punch. He tends to lean back with his chin up in the air. I'm not trusting in Robert-Helenius' balance. Like I said, I think the habit that he has of, you know, fighting very upright, very tall, chin in the air, and then leaning back, chin in the air. When the jab comes, he just leans back. He leans right back. It's almost like it's unbelievable, actually, Robert-Helenius. When that jab comes, Helenius, he just leans back, chin up in the air, leans back. Guard exactly the same. He doesn't adjust the guard. He doesn't tuck. He doesn't go into a high guard. He doesn't bring his hands to cover his face. He doesn't bring in the left or the right shoulder to cover the shot. It's hard to explain without the use of video evidence, but Helenius, I think, in some ways, actually made for Anthony Joshua, to be honest with you, right? He's made for Anthony Joshua. And he's made for Anthony Joshua if Anthony Joshua is going to be aggressive and he's going to commit. That's how I feel about it. He's made for Anthony Joshua if Anthony Joshua is going to be aggressive and going to commit, right? And he's going to throw combinations. Helenius will definitely be there for combinations because Helenius fights with his hands very, very far from his face. He doesn't really adjust his guard and he leans back with his chin in the air. So if Anthony Joshua is willing to put clusters together in this fight, yeah, if we're going to see the quote-unquote if we're going to see the quote-unquote, is my mic going, guys? Because if my mic's going, let me know. 1 second. I'll adjust it very, very quickly. Let me just check the mic game. Let me know if my mic's going. Is that better or is that not better? Let me know with the mic because I noticed the mic is playing up a bit recently. Right, the mic is fine. Okay, sounds good over here. Sorry about that. So, as I was saying before, yeah, this fight is going to be meat and drink for Anthony Joshua if he's going to commit. So the old Anthony Joshua, right? You know, throw a right hand. You know, if you miss the right hand, carry on, get into your second phase and throw clusters of punches. So, you know, get that second phase, get that third phase going. If Anthony Joshua is going to start being cagey, yeah, if he's going to start being cagey and he's going to start hanging around on the outside and trying to get into a jabbing contest with Helenius, this fight may go more rounds than what we're expecting. But if Anthony Joshua's prepared to fall in on his shots a bit, to be honest. So he's prepared to commit with the right hand. If he falls in off that right hand and falls down the center, left hook, uppercut, and throw shots and get into that second phase, right? I think he'll get Helenius out of there quite early. If he's going to be tentative and cautious from early on and not really want to commit with the shots and he's throwing that jab hand from the outside and he's not really committing, then I think we could see this fight go round. I'll explain more when the fight actually happens, because when the fight actually happens, we'll be able to sort of see it more and more. We've got Adi Oladipo, Tony Bellew, and David Hay currently on the zone doing live comms. Currently in the poll, Toby, I saw your comment, Toby. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. No, it's okay, bro. I hope you're doing well, my man. I hope you're doing well. Feel free to email me. Let me know how you're getting on. Only 69. We've got 226 people here and only 69 votes. It's one thing to not like the video, but it's another thing to not even vote on the poll. Vote on the poll right now. Who wins? 76% of you, 75% of you are going for Anthony Joshua to beat Robert Helenius. But Helenius is a puncher. Helenius punches hard. It's one of them weird fights. I think, like I said before, if Anthony Joshua was willing to commit, if Anthony Joshua was willing to stalk him, willing to commit, if he's willing to miss with the first phase and come back with the second phase, I think he can get him out of there early. But if we're going to see the gun-shy, tentative, wait, out on the outside, jabbing contest style Anthony Joshua, then Robert Helenius might be able to get himself into this fight. We'll have to wait and see. Is what it is. Vanguards of Manhood says Helenius is the veritable punch bag on legs. Let's just be honest, Ultra. I would agree with you, but he does. Would you agree with me that Helenius does appear to have a little bit of power? He does, doesn't he? Like, there's no question. Like, he does appear to have this, like, a little bit of power. We saw him buzz up Dillian White off a jab. We've seen him stop other fighters before. Like, Helenius does have a bit of sneaky power. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. Like, you would feel Anthony Joshua TKO in this fight, rounds 3, round 4. You know what I mean? If AJ's really on it, yeah, we're feeling Anthony Joshua TKO round 3, round 4. But we'll have to wait and see, because Helenius is quite tall. Helenius is quite upright. He is quite tall. He is quite upright. And he does know his distance a little bit. He's awkward, like I said before, you know. And if AJ gets into a jabbing contest with him from distance, then I actually think we could see something in this fight tonight. I'm not saying we see Helenius win, but I think we could see this fight go more rounds than what we're expecting. But if Anthony Joshua's willing to commit, jab right hand, miss the jab right hand, you know, miss that right hand, fall in, come across to the left hook, get into that second phase, I think Joshua will get him out of there tonight. I want to have to see. Let's go, guys. Give me your tips. I know quite a bit about Anthony Joshua, but I'm not the biggest on Helenius. 72 likes, 223 in the chat. 72 likes. Can we please get a few more likes going, guys? Educate me. What do you think Robert Helenius should do in the ring tonight, and how do you think this fight will go? Let me know. Richard says Helenius does have power, but he's also extremely susceptible to getting completely switched off. Absolutely. Toby says Helenius is a very, very big puncher if he lands. AJ will go if Helenius hits him with a big one. I have to say, like, I'm not sure about that per se, but you do worry. Like, Helenius can punch. There's no question about it. Like, Helenius can hit. And the thing about Helenius is, you saw him in a fight with Deontay Wilder. He was on the front foot trying to push him back ASAP. I thought that was a great tactic against. I thought Robert Helenius' tactics against Deontay Wilder were absolutely spot on. Push Wilder back, get Wilder on the back foot, be aggressive. I thought his tactics were superb. The problem is Deontay Wilder's timing is a lot better than people think it is. Is he a great boxer? No, it's not. But do you know how hard it is to time a shot in the boxing ring? Like, do you understand how hard it is to time someone in the boxing? It's very hard. At all levels of the sport, it is very hard to time someone. And even though Deontay Wilder is unbalanced, even though Deontay Wilder is uncoordinated, even though Deontay Wilder, you know, is notorious for not picking up his hands, for carrying his hands low, for not being very good defensively, for being one-dimensional, he does have very, very good timing, Deontay Wilder. He does. If you look at his knockout of Ortiz in the second fight, Deontay Wilder actually does have very, very good timing when he wants to. So it is what it is, you know. He has very, very good timing. So I thought Helenius' game plan against Wilder was absolutely superb. I just thought Wilder caught him on the back foot with just, you know what Wilder is. And you know what happens when Wilder catches people. And as somebody just said, PAFC analysis, Wilder has very good speed. He's explosive. You know, he's explosive. He's explosive. That's what he has. He has speed and he has power. He's explosive. So it is what it is, you know. Abdul Amaray says Helenius needs to constantly cuddle AJ and tire him out. KSI is on my screen for some reason. I'm just going to mute this screen because nobody needs to hear with K. The man turns up in a fucking red do-rag. What the fuck? Who turns up, yeah? Who turns up to an Anthony Joshua fight night wearing a red do-rag, man, and shades? In one of the darkest arenas, yeah, in the whole of the UK. How are you turning up on live TV with a red do-rag and shades, man? Listen, man. It's time to stop putting these brothers on TV, bro. It's time to stop putting these brothers on TV. Man coming out on the TV with red do-rag and the shades in a fucking pitch black arena. Come on, man. Stop making us look so bad, man. Stop making us look bad, man. Why can't we just dress normally and shit? Why can't we just dress normally, man? Why you gotta rock up to the arena, yeah? In a silky red do-rag, yeah, with shades on, bro. What is this, man? Man out here looking like Stevie Wonder. What are we doing in here, man? What are we doing, man? What are we doing out here, man? Come on, man. What are we doing out here, man? Silky red do-rags, yeah, and fucking sunshades, man. Enough's enough, innit? Enough's enough. Oi, somebody shouting at fucking oh, so one of Tommy Fury's friends is in the crowd and he's shouting over KSI. That's actually quite funny. And he's saying Tommy's gonna knock you spark out. There you go. So it is what it is. So one of Tommy's friends has moved straight to the front of the crowd and he's screaming over KSI's interview, saying Tommy's gonna knock you out. Vanguards of Manhood saying KSI looking like Rebel MC from back in the day. Oh my, I know Rebel MC, unfortunately. Oh, that rhymes. Maybe I should be a rapper. Shane is laughing, and it's just like Abdul Amare is saying KSI out here looking like Pato Banton. Let me get a bit there. Do you know what? I ain't heard no Pato, but I know he's a ragga man, but I don't really remember hearing no Pato Banton tunes. I'm more of a Budgie Banton and Shabba Ranks, a bit of Sizzler, but I'm more of a Budgie Banton, Ninja Man, Budgie Banton. Who's the other one? Someone I'm trying to think of. There's someone else, but Ninja Man, Budgie Banton. But yeah, he out here saying KSI looking like Pato Banton out here. There you go. Let me give you a bumper clate for that. Yeah, let me give you a bumper clate. Bumper clate. Few of you in the chat about that Ninja Man. Obviously, you gotta be Ninja Man, innit? Ninja Man. Bit of Sizzler, bit of Ninja Man, innit? You can't go wrong in it. Bit of Shabba. Boy, Shabba. Shabba is the anything they bring Shabba Ranks ready for. Just say it. Ranks is the man, number one. Shabba Ranks is a bad man. Never sleep on Shabba Ranks, man. Never sleep on Shabba Ranks. Anyway. Yeah, my wife's coming in. Wife, would you like to shut the door? Wife? Yeah, you shut the door. Yeah, you shut. Yeah, you do what you want. Yeah. Sorry. The wife's coming to shut the windows because the neighbours don't need to hear me screaming Shabba Ranks, innit? Here we go. Right, let's carry on. Let's have a look here. Milan saying that was Dillian when he. Yeah, I love you too. Can you shut my door? Can you get me some ice water, please, Mrs. Ultra? Ice water. Thank you. Shut the door, please. Thank you. It is what it is. Yeah, that someone saying that was Dillian when he got his VAR. Let me do one more. I'll give you one more time. This is Dillian White when he got his VAR test results back this week. There you go. You can see Dillian there looking at his phone, innit? You can see Dillian there, innit? Looking at his phone. He thought he passed, innit? Innit? You can see Dillian looking at his phone. He thought he passed, innit? He thought he passed. And then somebody told him afterwards, yeah, Dillian, you didn't pass, G. Yo, Dillian, I don't know what you... you tested positive, Dillian. I don't know what you're thinking, bro, but that's not a good thing. You didn't pass, bro. Dillian's on the phone skanking there, thinking he got the all clear in it. Somebody just looked at the fine print. Dillian, nah, unfortunately, you fell, bro. That's it, your career's over. Your career's over, G. Your career's finished, bro. That is it, man. Yeah, that's it, Richard. Yeah. Yeah. Dillian's skanking in it, going, yeah, I'm positive. I told you guys, I beat the allegations. Be like, Dillian, you fucked it. Anyway, right, let's go. I believe we're getting ready for the main event. Let's do a quick crowd check at the O2. You know the crowd are fucked right now because you know the back seats, they've turned the lights off so you can't see the empty seats at the back. So any Matchroom fanboys that are listening to this, I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, but I don't believe we've got a sellout tonight. But I could be wrong about that. But when promoters start turning off the lights in the back, yeah, so you can't see the empty seats, that's when we have to start raising questions, yeah, about was it a sellout or was it not a sellout? Oh, the lights have come on. Oh, no, it's not looking too bad. There's a few seats there. There's a few seats. It's not a sellout. I can see seats in the mid-range and the back range. It's not too bad, though. It's not too bad. Let me see. It's definitely not a sellout, but it's close to. But yeah, you can see there, just short of ringside, not the immediate ringside, but in the row just behind the ringside seats, you can see there's a few nice blue seats to go. Ice Meister says, Ultra, I've got some info to give you on those seats. Of course, we know it's not full. We know they're comping. They're comping. We know that. Vanguards of Manhood says, I've got a friend there and it's not full. It's not full. It is what it is. Daryl, you're welcome to call up tonight. Have we discussed Ebony Bridges looking like McGregor's main B? Indeed, we have, Daryl. I can't believe, female empowerment. This is the IBF Women's Bantamweight Champion of the world, being reduced to nothing more than a piece of bar fodder for the likes of Conor McGregor. It is what it is, isn't it? Yeah, setting women's rights back one tit at a time. Ebony Bridges. Right, here comes Robert-Helenius coming to the ring. For some reason, there's fucking smoke. Why are they giving Robert-Helenius smoke and fire on his entrance? This is a journeyman who's been knocked out about 150 times. What has Robert-Helenius done to deserve fire and smoke for this entrance, though? But you're not being funny. Like, I'm not being funny. When I used to watch WCW back in the day, only the top wrestlers used to get the fire and used to get the pyrotechnics. Press one if you agree with me, press two if you disagree. Do you remember that back in the day? Like, back in, if you used to watch WCW, innit? Like, fucking jobbers, they never used to give the pyrotechnics and the smoke to jobbers, innit? You never give the pyrotechnics and the smoke. You only give the pyrotechnics to the Sting or the Lex Luger or the Hollywood Hulk Hogan, innit? Why are you giving you don't give pyrotechnics to the jobbers. But for some reason, Robert-Helenius is coming out to smoke and fire. Well, you better put it on Anthony Joshua right now. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not going for any excuses tonight from Robert-Helenius. I'm not expecting no excuses tonight, from Robert-Helenius, innit? No excuses tonight from Robert-Helenius. Someone says, change the background, I'm getting screen banned. There you go. You like that background? Ebony Bridges is remarkably good looking. You can never, ever take that away from her. And she never needs to box again because she's making about $500,000 a year on OnlyFans. So you ain't going to see Ebony Bridges coming back to the boxing fighting Nina Smith for £2.50 in a bag of pork scratching somewhere in a half-empty O2 arena. She ain't going to do that. She's making $500,000 every year on OnlyFans selling dirty knickers. So it is what it is. Helenius coming to the ring. He comes over the top rope. He looks up for it, didn't he? I have to say, one thing we haven't discussed is Anthony Joshua's post-fight behavior. What did you think about that? Anthony Joshua at the weigh-in there. I thought his weigh-in was the way he spoke to Helenius was disgusting, to be honest. There's no need to. What do you think about that? AJ at the weigh-in threatening Helenius, saying, what are you looking at? You got a problem. You got a problem. Well, we can do it now if you want. What do you think about AJ doing that? And a big question marks about the mentality of AJ, because he doesn't seem to behave like that when it's a Dillian White in front of him. You notice that? He doesn't seem to behave like that when it's a Dillian White in front of him. When it's a Dillian White or a Klitschko or an Usyk or a Povetkin, you don't see the roadman AJ coming out. Oh gosh, they've got some light-skinned broad with a violin. Darryl, is this one of your? What is going on here? Hold on, turn this on. What is this? Why is there a sister with a violin in the middle of O2 Arena? What's she playing the violin for? One sec. What is this? I thought this was the new AJ. What is this? Why is he coming? That's the Godfather theme, by the way. So it's the return of Big Meech. Do you guys not get that? That's the Godfather theme, innit? Being played on a violin. So here comes Don Miccione, aka AJ, coming out. He looks glazed over in his red Under Armour dressing gown there, coming to the ring there. They're playing the Godfather theme on a violin. So Don Corleone, aka AJ. This guy really thinks he's in the mafia, doesn't he, AJ? The man's really coming out, to mafia music. This guy's let me hear this again. Oh my God. He really is out there, isn't he? AJ legitimately is now coming to the ring, to the Godfather theme tune being played on a violin. So, like I said, La Familia are coming to the ring there. Eddie Hearn, AJ, Freddie Cunningham, etc., etc. I have to say, and I'm never saying it's a bad thing. I'm just going to say AJ does look nervous, but like I said, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with looking nervous in the ring. Like I said before, nervousness can help you in the boxing room. But I have to be honest with you. Press 1 if you agree, press 2 if you disagree. AJ does look nervous coming to the ring, which is good. It's good to see. Hopefully that nervousness keeps him sharp. I'm not accusing him of being scared or anything like that. He's a fighting man. He will fight anybody. But he does look slightly glazed over, yeah, as he comes to the ring. AJ there coming out to his Mafia theme tune. It is what it is. There you go. Danny Madu says La Familia. La Familia. So John Smith, Femiloni. Anthony Femiloni coming to the Femiloni. Here he comes. Here he comes. Don Femioli. Don Femioli coming to the ring. He needs to call himself that, didn't he? Don Fem. Is this shit still playing? One sec. He's still playing. AJ's waiting at the entrance, yeah, and he looked to someone to say, is this woman going to stop playing the violin so I can come out? Can you see it? AJ said to the producer, like, okay, she's going to stop now. I'm ready to come out. And she's still playing? Don't upset Don Femioli, innit? He might make you an offer you can't refuse. That poor girl's about to wake up in the morning with a horse's head in her bed, courtesy of Don Femioli. My name is Anthony Joshua, a.k.a. Don Femioli. Big Meech. I represent the hustlers, the bangers, the Big Meeches, the Larry Hoovers, the Don Corleones. Okay, here he comes. AJ is now coming to the ring. What's his tune? What? He's coming to Faithless. I Can't Get No Sleep. Wow. Where would you rank that ring walk from Anthony Joshua? Definitely, I would say one of the worst ring walks of all time. What would you say? That's right up there. He looks nervous coming to the ring. No question about it there. He's bopping to the side there. That definitely is one of his worst walkouts of all time. You're not even coming out to the bad man music, though. Last time, when he came out for Usyk, innit, he came out to the locks, innit? What do you guys think? When he came out for Usyk rematch, he came out to the locks. All for the love. That was a tune, though. That was a tune. The man came out to the locks, innit? Man came out to the locks like a real bad man. Where are you coming out to now? Faithless. I can't get no sleep. Mate, that ain't the kind of tune that you want to be walking to the ring for, man. You're about to go and get in the ring with a fucking tomato can, Joshua-Helenius, and AJ coming out in the ring to, I can't get no sleep. And obviously, RIP Maxi Jazz, a living legend, but AJ coming out to the ring, I can't get no sleep. The fuck is this, man? What do you guys think about AJ's ring walk? For me, that's one of the worst he's ever done. Worst he's ever, the violin, the cringy violin, followed by, and how do the two go together? Like, there's got to be a theme in it. Like, how do you go from a violin to one of the greatest sort of house trance music songs of all time? How do the two sort of match up with that? Does that make sense? Press 1 if you agree, press 2, but you've got a flow in it. You can't go from, how do you go from classical music to one of the best hard house trance songs that's ever been? Like, how do you go from that? Like, they need to speak to the DJ, innit, about that. They need to have a word with the DJ about that. Because that one don't get me. Last King of Scotland said, Usyk keeping him awake. I can't get no sleep. Yes, it's true. Someone mentioned that. Oh dear, right. Mark Stanton is saying AJ's not changed his gloves then. No surprises. Well, shouldn't they be wearing the same gloves? Shouldn't they be wearing the same gloves? Right, we're getting ready. Right. You have now got 10 seconds left to vote on this poll. 189 votes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, Victor Lachlan is in the ring. So it's definitely an AJ win tonight. Jesus Christ. Has anybody seen Spaceman? Who's going to break the Spaceman that he's just lost $2,000? Victor Lachlan's the referee tonight. Psh, Spaceman just lost $2,000, everybody. You'll be seeing him on the park bench later on tonight. Can't end this poll. YouTube's playing up, but it is what it is. Spaceman 204. You'll be seeing him on a park bench tonight with a bottle of whiskey. Because I'll tell you what, that man just lost his home, man. Man just lost his entire mortgage. Cost by Victor Lachlan. Ain't no way Robert Haynes is going to win this fight. Let's see what happens. AJ does look nervy. I have to be honest with you. It is what it is. Yes, please hit the like. We've got 251 watching this and somehow got 84 likes, which is absolutely disgusting. Crazy D3 said exactly what I was thinking. One of the ring girls is the absolute spitting image of Margot Robbie. I will say that. So if you do see that, let me know. One of the ring girls for this fight in the middle of the ring is a spitting image of Margot Robbie. Absolute spitting image. Are they doing the national anthems for this or not? Let's have a look. Hopefully not. Right. David Diamante is doing the entrances. Robert Helenius was boxing in an old abandoned Finnish castle against a bag of potatoes only 1 week ago before he got the call for this fight. Dillian White was supposed to be in the ring tonight, but oh, sorry about it. Cheers. Misogynist as usual. This is why I shatter the patriarchy. Nah. I'm sorry, Laura. We can't have any of that stuff on here. I'm sorry about that, but I'm sorry, Laura. I had to zap you there. I had to zap you there. We can't have any of that stuff on there. All that patriarchy stuff on here, mate. I'm just trying to enjoy a boxing stream. We ain't got time for all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? This isn't Greenpeace. Do you know what I mean? There's a couple of lads out here just trying to watch the boxing in peace, innit? This ain't fucking Greenpeace, mate. Do you know what I mean? This ain't just stop oil, innit? Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to cover this Anthony Joshua fight, and you're on here trying to do a just stop oil on me, innit? In the middle of my own show, innit? Pulling up into the road with an orange t-shirt, trying to stop me from doing what I'm trying to do, innit? Oh, God. I'm sorry, Laura. I love you, but I can't have it on here, man. I can't have it on here, innit? I can't do it. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Right. These two are in the center of the ring looking at each other. Anthony Joshua is looking at Robert Helenius. Touching gloves. So Helenius is wearing the Leone gloves. So what happened with the gloves? Oh, they're both wearing Leones now. Right, there you go. So they are wearing the same gloves. Right, there you go. So they're both wearing the Leones because there was something going on, wasn't there, with the gloves? So we'll have to wait and see. Okay, guys, don't make any dodgy comments here because, like I said before, I don't need the hassle. All right. So don't make any dodgy comments. Right, round one. AJ walks straight into the center. Straight in. Helenius then takes the center back, and Helenius is straight on AJ. This is what we saw from Wilder. Helenius with a jab, left hand, right hook, and AJ caught it all in the gloves, and he seems fine. But that's a great start from Helenius because Helenius is letting Anthony Joshua know that he's coming to fight, and Helenius is pushing Anthony Joshua back on the back foot. And Anthony Joshua is against the ropes. Anthony Joshua throws a very, very long right hand, which was just nowhere missed. So it's a great start from Helenius because it comes out and it shows Anthony Joshua that Helenius is here to do something. And this is what we saw in the Wilder fight from Helenius. He's still good short right hand from Anthony Joshua, just missed. But we saw it from Helenius in the Wilder fight where he got on the front foot, he didn't cower, and he got stuck straight into it straight away. Guys, will you do me a favor? Don't make any more of those dodgy comments, yeah, because we don't need them in the chat, please. All right, I'm trying not to ban anybody else or time anybody else out. We are 2 minutes and 3 seconds left, yeah, in the first round. It's a very, very good start from Robert Helenius. He's going to be a little bit of an awkward start, like I said, because he fights very tall, very stiff, very upright. So AJ's got to get the distance right. And you can see Helenius already is getting into making it a long-range jabbing contest, which is, for me, which is not where Anthony Joshua needs to be. But it's round one. Good stiff jab from Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua's beating him to the jab the last 2 times there. But eventually, Anthony Joshua, for me, is going to have to close the distance and get in. Anthony Joshua throws a long left hook, and he misses from a mile out because that was completely telegraphed. What we're looking for from Anthony Joshua is to work himself into the mid-range without getting clipped. And that's what he needs to start doing, Anthony Joshua. Do you know what I mean? He needs to start working himself into the mid-range without getting clipped. But the thing about Anthony Joshua is, at the minute, he seems very tense and he's very stiff. So he's not very fluid. He doesn't seem very relaxed in the ring. So he's throwing a lot of singles. He's telegraphing a lot, and he seems quite stiff. Now, what you need to do, like I said before, it's important against the boxer who's quite tall. Good short right hand from Anthony Joshua, which lands on the button there. Knocks Helenius' head back. Helenius, as you can see already, guys, is leaning back. Every time the shots come Helenius' way, you see Helenius do that very awkward lean back, which takes something off the shot. But there's something for AJ in that second phase. Because you see when Helenius leans back, maybe AJ later on could follow him in and then come up with a second phase, a combination, and really put it on Helenius. But he's going to have to close the distance and let his hands go. That was better from Anthony Joshua there. He threw a nice double jab, and he brought his feet in behind the jab and got himself into range. He didn't throw, but that was a lot better from Anthony Joshua. That's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to bring himself and creep into range. When he's throwing that jab, bring your feet with the jab. Double jab, bring your feet in. 2 steps, bring your feet in there. And that double jab right hand looks a good combination for Anthony Joshua early on if he can get that going. You already see there, Anthony Joshua. He's throwing that jab, and if he brings his feet in behind, the opportunity to throw the straight right hand afterwards will be there. So like I said before, he's got to keep moving his feet. Don't stiffen up. Don't tense up. Don't stiffen up. Don't tense up. Move your feet with the jab. Jab, jab, step, step, and see if there's a space for that right hand. This round so far, to give it to Anthony Joshua, but it was a good start from Joshua-Helenius. Anthony Joshua's in roadman mode there. He doesn't want to touch gloves with Helenius there. He's all about that destruction. What do you guys think? Who do you think won that first round? And how do you feel about that first round from Anthony Joshua? To me, like I said, looked stiff, looked tense, but there were some good signs in the second half of that round there. Like I said before, the key here is for Anthony Joshua is to not throw big singles from far out and leave your feet behind you. And that's what we saw him do in the first half of that fight. He's on the outside. He's loading up with a big left hook, a big right hand. Yeah, and he's hitting fresh air. He needs to bring his feet with the shots. So, like I said before, jab, jab, bring your feet in with the jab, step, 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 step. Always step in your jab. Hopefully, Tony will come on later on to explain that to you. But step, step, yeah, with your jab. Bring yourself into range, and then see if there's a shot for a right hand. I appreciate you, Yoking, deleting some messages. Yoking, like I said before, you've got license to kill as always here. Right click on someone's name. And if you click hide user on this channel, that's the ban. Yeah. So that's what the ban is. Yeah. It's right click and hide user on this channel. So let me know. Yeah. Anybody, you got license to kill tonight, Yoking, because we need to clean it up. 260 people in the chat. Please feel free to like and subscribe. We are 2 minutes and 45 seconds in round 2. And Helenius is doing really good. He's pushing Anthony Joshua back. He's trying to hold the center, and he's trying to, he's not behaving like a journeyman who's coming to accept a payday. Joshua-Helenius is boxing like somebody who actually believes that he has the ability to do something in this fight. Good jab from Anthony Joshua, a good jab to the body from Anthony Joshua. Just like to see Anthony Joshua bring his feet behind them jabs. Press 1 if you understand what I'm saying, or press 2 if you think I'm talking shit. Don't leave your feet. When you jab in boxing, yeah, you've got to bring your feet with you. So you jab and you bring out your front foot. Jab and you bring out your front foot. Then you bring your back foot with you. You've got to bring your feet with the jab. That's how you get into range. So just watch Anthony Joshua sometimes from throwing from too far out, because he's not bringing his feet with him when he punches. Or throw a jab and his feet stay still, leaves his feet. Or throw a right hand and his feet stay still. So he's not bringing his feet with the shots. He's not working his way into distance. But it's a good start in this round from Anthony Joshua. He's landing good jabs. He's beating Joshua-Helenius. Joshua-Helenius is a very wide guard. So there's plenty of opportunities for that nice jab down the middle from Anthony Joshua. Because if you look at Helenius leaves a big gap coming right down the middle of the guard. So there's always a nice opportunity for them straight jabs here from Anthony Joshua. He's doing nice at the minute. But he needs to find a way to work himself in, because he wants to land that big right hand. That's what Anthony Joshua's about. He likes that 1-2. That's his bread and butter, Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua's bread and butter punches that 1-2 big right hand over the top. But he has difficulty against tall fighters because he has difficulty with the range. And he has difficulty with working himself in. And that's the puzzle that he's having to... deal with in a minute that he can't deal with. Helenius is against the ropes. Anthony Joshua doesn't want to commit. There he does. Anthony Joshua committed with a big overhand right. Helenius saw it coming, tied him up. And there you go. And you see what we said about Helenius. Doesn't get involved in all the pushing and the grappling and the wrestling. Lets Anthony Joshua fall in, grabs him, and then he just turns him around. And that's what he does. Turns him around, gets his back to the center of the ring, off the ropes, and back again. 2 good jabs from Helenius. 3 good jabs from Helenius. So 3 very, very good jabs from Helenius. And this is turning into a chess match, which didn't really want it to turn into for Anthony Joshua, to be honest with you, early on. Like, Helenius will be comfortable. He's taking some heavy jabs, but it'll be very, very comfortable. The pace isn't a pace that's really hard to manage, and it's becoming a battle of the jabs at the minute, which is what Helenius will want. But Anthony Joshua's winning the fight, but this is a fight that Helenius will want. We're coming to the end of round 2. He hasn't taken any real significant punishment, hasn't really taken a significant shot, and it's becoming a battle of the jabs. And Anthony Joshua, again, as I said before, people have always said he struggles against short fighters. I've always said that's BS. He struggles against tall fighters. And we saw him struggling against Klitschko in the same way, where because he likes to load up and telegraph his shots, you see Anthony Joshua there, he has a big problem against tall fighters. His volume goes right down. And if you look at Anthony Joshua's volume against tall fighters, his volume goes right down. You see a lot at the minute, Anthony Joshua, a lot of single shots, because he struggles to get the distance down. And he struggles to get the distance down in his fights because he's not fluid on his feet. He doesn't have that ability to just throw a nice little jab, 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 bring his feet in behind the jabs, and then throw the big hard right hand. He's not very fleet-footed. He's quite stiff. He's quite stiff with it. So as a result, do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to see what Derek James is telling him at the minute. But yeah, what are you guys... Give me a score out of 10 for Anthony Joshua right now in the first 2 rounds, guys. 258 in the chat. Please hit the like button. Please feel free to subscribe. Give me a score for Anthony Joshua out of 10 in these first 2 rounds. How do you see the fight going? But for me, like I said before, the key thing to watch is Anthony Joshua at the minute is throwing from too far out. So that's all you need to watch in a minute. He's throwing from too far out, yeah? If you look at the distance, he's having problems walking himself into the range. And like I said before, double jab, triple jab, whatever, bring your feet with you is the right hand there. He's not really doing that. He's throwing the right hand left hook from too far out. And that's the reason why he's not comfortable. He's not comfortable at the minute. He's not comfortable. He's worried about getting countered, and he's not comfortable that he can. Sorry, this is coming. 2 minutes 50 to go in round 3. Let's let the fight do the talking. Anthony Joshua with a good jab to the body there to start off. He's starting to stalk Helenius. I like that from AJ. That's what I'm saying. Starting to stalk Helenius and walk himself into range. Good jab to the body, and those jabs to the body will add up, and then AJ will feint the body and then go to the head with the overhand right. There's a good start from Anthony Joshua, a good jab from Anthony Joshua. So he's starting to walk himself and stalk himself and close the distance there. The feet are starting to quicken up. He's cutting off the ring and he's starting to walk into range. But I'm interested to see, you know, it's a lot of singles at the minute from Anthony Joshua. It's a jabbing contest. It's jab for jab. It's a lot of singles at the minute. And I'm looking to see when he's going to pull the trigger. And at the minute, there you go. And you see what happened there. He threw the right left hook from too far out. Robert Helenius did a lovely pivot and threw a straight right hand and nailed him. And that's the problem that he's having. He's not confident from distance. Press 1 if you agree with me, or press 2 if you think I'm full of shit. You see it in Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua's not confident in a distance fight. Unless he can walk his way right into punching range, he's not confident. When you have to make him work his way in from the outside to the mid-range, you can see he's not confident. And that's why he's not punching. You can see the volume's not there. It's a lot of singles. But you can see he's very hesitant. And he's hesitant because he's worried about falling short and getting countered. And that's what happened. He threw the long left hook. He gambled. Helenius pivoted and threw the straight right hand down the middle and nailed him. He's very hesitant. And he's always been hesitant around distance. He doesn't know how to bring his feet in. And close range effectively. If you're Helenius right now, 1 minute and 15 seconds to go in round 3, you are in the box seats. Helenius isn't winning this fight. But he is right in the box seats because he hasn't taken any real punishment, hasn't taken any real shots. You know, there's not really a lot of combination punching. He hasn't been involved in a gunfight yet at all. And for Robert Helenius, this is almost like a spar for Robert Helenius, you know. Obviously, it's a bit more than that because they're wearing 8-10 ounce gloves. Good jab from Anthony Joshua. But this is a bit like a spar for Robert Helenius. It's a comfortable pace for Robert Helenius right now. Yeah, Anthony Joshua give it all the roadman talk and a run up to the fight. But this is what I'm saying. This is why talk is pointless. And that was a right hand from Anthony Joshua. And I think that just missed, or did it land? Did it land? Anthony Joshua for a very long right hand. I don't know if it clipped Helenius, but it looked like it might have just missed. His eye's giving him trouble. If you can see Anthony Joshua's left eye, he's blinking out of that left eye a little bit. But let's just see. I don't know if that right hand landed clean on Helenius or not. Let me know. But Helenius, it's difficult because Helenius leans back. So Helenius leant back, lost balance, and fell into the ropes. So it's hard to know if Joshua hurt him with that shot. But there's something going on with AJ's left eye. Press 1 if you can see in the chat. Can you see it? His left eye is swelling up, and he's blinking out of it. Press 1 if you can see in the chat. Anthony Joshua's left eye. There's definitely something going on there. He's hardly been hit, though. So what's going on there? Let's see when he goes back to the corner. There's something going on with his left eye. Yeah, it's all puffed up. His right eye. So his right eye is puffed up. Sorry, he's got a big swelling under that right eye in round 2. You can see him blinking out of it. You're not very comfortable at all. Are those the jabs from Helenius? Because like I said, Helenius is heavy-handed. There was a sequence, and his nose is bleeding. Now, there was a sequence in the beginning of the second round when Helenius hit him with a triple jab, and I wonder if that bust up his eye a little bit. Anonymous is saying his left eye was swelling in the corner the round before. You could see it. My bad. Sorry, my G. I'm not very good at this game. One sec, guys. Let me just see. No, he just missed him. That right hand from Anthony Joshua missed Helenius. And like I said before, you can... Oh, no, it caught him. Sorry, my bad. It caught him flush on the chin. It did catch him on the chin. Sorry, my bad. I saw the second angle and it did catch him. So Anthony Joshua did land that long overhand left. I think Helenius, like I said, rode most of it because he leans back, didn't he? He leans back, so he took a little bit off that shot. But the good sign of your Helenius fan is that it's round 4 and Helenius is still pushing forward. Anthony Joshua's eyes marked up that right eye. So if you're Robert Helenius, there's a big sign of encouragement. At the minute, like I said, this fight is going the way you want it to, exchanging jabs for jabs. But obviously, Anthony Joshua is still the absolute, massive favorite. Once he lands a big right hand, he'll end the fight.
But just interesting to see how this fight goes. Joshua's now, again, starting off the 4th round, and he's stalking Helenius a bit more. Like I said before, he starts off the rounds quite well. He's stalking Helenius. Anthony Joshua showing a nice bit of head movement. He's moving his head left to right, and he's jabbing to the body and the head. But we'll just see. He still seems a bit hesitant at the minute. And it's the distance. He doesn't want to fall in. He doesn't want to fall in and get caught. And Helenius is trying to throw him into a trap there. Anthony Joshua threw the long right hand there against Helenius, and Helenius jumped back and leaned back against the ropes. It didn't land. 2 minutes to go in the 4th round. This is turning into a bit of a cagey fight. Some of these jabs and right hands, you can definitely see Helenius, yeah? Some of these jabs and right hands from Anthony Joshua have definitely had an effect on Robert Helenius. You can see that because you can see his nose and his face are all marked up a little bit. So you can definitely see, and there you go. You see Anthony Joshua threw a massive long lead left hook from halfway across the ring, and Helenius saw that with ease. And that sums up Anthony Joshua's problem with boxing in a nutshell right now. You know, you're throwing from too far out. Needs to know how to walk himself into range behind the jab. Again, I always ask you, have you seen a double jab from Anthony Joshua tonight? Yes or no in the chat. Have you seen a double jab from Anthony Joshua? The double jab is one of the best weapons in boxing for bringing yourself into range. When Tony comes on tonight, hopefully, ask Tony, is the double jab one of the best weapons in boxing for cutting down range? It's brilliant, the double jab. It's a lovely jab from Robert Helenius, by the way, and a good return jab from Anthony Joshua. The double jab is one of the best combinations in boxing for bringing yourself from outside into inside, because you double jab, you bring your feet with you on both jabs, you keep the opponent occupied, you keep their hands high, and you can trigger off a right hand. It's brilliant. But Anthony Joshua's throwing singles. You know, just something as simple as a lovely little double jab left, double jab right hand would work wonders for Anthony Joshua. Where's the doubling of the jab? Where's the tripling of the jab? Can you guys see? It's a lot of it singles. And so, like I say, he's leaving his feet behind him. Helenius is still holding the center of the ring. 28 seconds to go in round 4. AJ's now skirting the ropes, doing an Andy Ruiz. Anthony Joshua throws a long right hand from distance, and Helenius sees it a mile off. Unbelievable. It was a decent little jab, hook off the jab from Anthony Joshua, but that just missed Helenius. But a good jab from Helenius. Helenius goes with a jab right hand. This isn't the AJ that we used to watch. This is not the Anthony Joshua that we used to watch. I'm sorry to say this, man, but this is not the Anthony Joshua that we used to watch, man. I'm sorry, man, but it's got to the stage now where it's... I'm sorry, guys, but I was never the biggest Anthony Joshua fan, but this is not the Anthony Joshua that we used to watch. Robert, I think we're on round 5 now, mate. This is not the Anthony Joshua that we used to watch. Tony's going to come on and say he was gun shy. Wayne says Olympic gold, unified world champion. Yeah, he was. He was all those things, Wayne. In the past, he was all those things. He was an Olympic champion. He was a unified champion and a world champion. And now he's in the ring. And he's gone 5 rounds against Robert Helenius, who's coming on a week's notice. And Anthony Joshua has the kind of punch power where you can never count him out. But right now, he doesn't look like stopping him. And I think AJ will stop him. I think AJ will land a big shot and stop him. But I'm just being honest, like, he's in round 5 against the guy who's come and taken his fight on a week's notice, yeah? The man was fighting bums in a Finnish castle literally a week ago, right? 1 week later, he's in the O2 Arena. He's fighting your unified world champion gold medalist. AJ doesn't look like getting him out of there with him. I'm just being honest, like, I know people get upset with me, but I'm just telling it how it is. Like, he doesn't look. Oh, let's just carry on and watch it anyway. Round 5, with 2 minutes 45 in round 5. AJ always starts off the rounds well. He starts off the rounds well. He backs up Helenius. He increases the foot speed. He's getting more aggressive now. This is what we want to see. He's got to start closing the distance and going for it there. And you see him start throwing that long right hand. And where's the second phase of attack? When you miss that, there you go. Short right hook from Anthony Joshua. Hit the hip, came back with the right hand. Got to get that second phase going now, man. But he's so gun shy. But it's also the distance and the range that's causing him a problem. And also, Helenius is hitting him with some good jabs, like his eyes swelling up. Helenius is hitting him with some very, very good jabs. He does struggle against tall fighters there. But like I said before, we'll have to wait and see. Well, do you guys think I'm being too harsh? I'm telling it how it is. I couldn't do any better. Oh, that was a good jab, little right hand there from Helenius. The right hand didn't really land, but Helenius still in his spot. Good jab from Helenius. I'm paying a lot of attention to these jabs from Helenius because of AJ's eye, you know? Whatever he's doing right. Good jab down the middle from Anthony Joshua. Sorry about this. I'm just having a look. Sorry about the commentary. I'm just having a look. So 1 minute 43 in round 5. Let's see if we can get a little bit more on a commentary. So at the minute, that was a good jab right hand from Robert-Helenius. Didn't really land on Anthony Joshua, but it's got him moving backwards there. And he throws another jab right hand on Anthony Joshua there. And a good jab from Helenius. So Helenius is getting a bit of momentum there, and he's pushing AJ back. And Anthony Joshua isn't the greatest back foot fighter, and he got a left hook. I think he's not hurt, but he felt those shots. Good jab from Helenius. There was some right hand that came from Helenius, and I think AJ may have felt that shot. But Helenius does look tired. Helenius is breathing over his mouth. And Helenius threw himself onto a big jab from Anthony Joshua. But Joshua followed up with the right hand and was all over the place. You're going to see something happen now because both of these two are beginning to gas out now. You can see Helenius' shape is going. Like, his arms are starting to drop to his waist. His guard's starting to fall apart. You know, he's starting to, you can see him huffing and puffing. He's breathing out of his mouth. And Helenius, the pace is beginning to get to Helenius. But he hit Anthony Joshua, I think, with a short right hand in that fight. And I think AJ felt it because he backed up, got onto his back foot, and Helenius followed him in. And if you look at Anthony Joshua, he's never really been comfortable. And this is what I'm saying. Oh, that was a lovely jab from Helenius there. Little pivot jab from Helenius. Snapped AJ's head back. But if you look at it, though, Anthony Joshua's never been comfortable. Good right hand there from Helenius. Just missed. But Helenius' nose is starting to bloody up. AJ's hitting with some solid jabs. But then, like, it's give and take in this fight. Lead left hook from Anthony Joshua. I thought that missed, but the crowd seems to think it hit. We'll have to wait and see. But it was a lead left hand from Anthony Joshua. We'll see in the replay if that landed or not. But Helenius at the minute has got a bloody nose because he's taking lots of jabs. I mean, Robert-Helenius is very open down the center line because if you look at his jab, his guard, he's got a very, very wide guard, Robert-Helenius, and he doesn't adjust that guard depending on what punch is thrown at him. And if you see there, Anthony Joshua landed 2 very, very good jabs at the end of that round there. Robert-Helenius there is using his head as the first form of defense other than his feet in his hands. And that's what's catching him out here, Robert-Helenius. He's leaning back too much. And like I said before, when you're tired, your reflexes aren't the same. You know, those lean backs now, you know, in round 1, round 2, he would have avoided them jabs. Now, AJ's starting to beat him for speed, and he's starting to land those jabs, and he's starting to bust up his nose. So if you ask me who's going to win this fight right now, we're still looking at Anthony Joshua's stoppage in this fight. Robert-Helenius looks to me like he's beginning to tire. It looks to me like he's beginning to lose his shape. He's wide open. He has that guard, but if you look at his guard, the center line is wide open, and AJ's able to creep in and beat him down with the jab straight down the middle for speed. And that's a lovely little replay from the zone. It shows AJ there using a little bit of hand control there. He's using his right hand to parry Helenius' jab down and then return fire of his own jab down in the middle. But Helenius landed some good shots in that round as well. He landed a good jab and he seemed to land a decent right hand. Helenius is up off his stool very, very early in this round, which is a good sign, and he gets to work. We're in round number 6 of this fight. Let's have a look here. We're in round number 6, and it's Helenius again. Helenius throws a jab right hand. I do believe that Helenius has the power to hurt Anthony Joshua. That's my opinion in this fight. I think you can see by Anthony Joshua's reactions and how tentative he is when Helenius is throwing shots at him. I think you know that Helenius does have the power. Anthony Joshua there pushing though. He's pushing in the beginning. He throws a big long left hook, and Helenius leans back and avoids it again. Things we haven't seen from Anthony Joshua tonight. We haven't seen the double jab, triple jab to bring the feet in and set up combinations. We haven't really seen any combination punching from Anthony Joshua at all today. It's been mainly big singles that have been thrown from distance. A couple he's landed and the majority he's missed. Would you agree with that? Press 1 in the chat if you agree. Press 2 if you disagree. But we haven't seen a lot of combination punching from Anthony Joshua. It's been a lot of singles. Anthony Joshua throws a jab, right hand there, and the right hand missed. But Helenius' feet are beginning to, you know, they're beginning to fail him a bit now. You know, he's losing a bit of ball, and he comes back with a good counter left hand there and a good jab. And that's the reason why Joshua was so tentative. Joshua there threw the straight right hand at Helenius. Helenius pivoted through a check left hook, and he nailed him. And he nailed him with 2 good jabs after that. And AJ's on the back foot there. He's definitely felt the shots there from Helenius. Do you guys believe that? Press yes if you agree with me on that. There was a good little jab left hook from Helenius there. Helenius has definitely got the power there to make AJ notice it, 100%. But you see, every time AJ, he fell in with the right hand, Helenius pivoted through a check hook and nailed him with it. And that's what he's a bit wary of. Helenius has the power to make him think. AJ throws another lead left hook from outside of distance, and he's made to miss. Again, no combination punching at the minute because he's not in range to throw combination punches. And he doesn't seem to know how to bring himself into range to throw those combination punches. There you go from AJ. Jab right hand over the top. The short right hand seemed to land clean. AJ's now staying in range a bit. We could see something here, AJ. If you look at the distance, this is a close one. AJ's in the pocket almost now. 1 minute to go in round 6, and AJ's closing up. If you look at him, he's almost in the pocket. Throws a lovely straight jab, nails Helenius. Now, from this range, he can do damage. In that little pocket range. If he's prepared to throw and commit here, he can do real damage. The distance is closed right up there. AJ goes with a right hand and he just misses. Helenius is moving back to the ropes. His hands by his waist. Helenius' legs are beginning to fail him. Good jab, right hand from Anthony Joshua, but both were blocked by Helenius. This fight's going to be ending soon, I think. I think we're going to see the end of this fight in a round or so because Helenius is beginning to tire out now. The shape's going. The distance is starting to get closed. And I think it's only a matter of time before we're going to see an Anthony Joshua right hand. Because you see, Helenius has now got his hands by his waist. So you can see absolutely gassed. Hands are now by the waist. Looks absolutely gassed, but he's landed. You know, every time you think AJ's about to get on top, he lands a very good count. And he's got a dig on him, Helenius. There you go. End of round 6. Sorry about the commentary. I wish it could be a bit more technical. Sorry, I'm a little bit in the moment right now. I apologize about the bad commentary. Where are we at a minute? ABB saying the crowd is booing again. Stuck in Kiev says AJ seemed worried about his chin. He's winning, but very cautious, like he doesn't trust himself. Well, to be honest with you, Helenius is hitting with some good shots. Like Helenius definitely has the power to hurt him. Like he's hit AJ with some shots. He's definitely got his attention. And like I said, but AJ overcommitted with the right hand. Helenius threw a lovely check hook, threw a lovely check hook at him. Look, so let me summarize where I'm at the minute, yeah? With Anthony Joshua at the minute. It's easier said than done. Like Helenius has given people big problems before. So I'm just saying that, right? But what I was looking forward to from Anthony Joshua when you're talking about going into a fight in January with someone like Deontay Wilder, yeah, is being aggressive, getting on the front foot, committing to your shots, and looking to set up that second phase of attack. When you miss with that overhand right, when you miss with that left hook, are you in position or are you close enough to land that second phase? And at the minute, we're not seeing any of this from Anthony Joshua. In the beginning of this fight, I said the one thing that I didn't want to see that would suit Helenius is a jabbing contest, innit? And that's exactly what this fight has turned into. This fight, we're now in round 7, is turned into a long-range jabbing contest. And at some point, Anthony Joshua's got to now start to close the distance and gambling. If he wants to actually make an impression on this fight, if he actually wants to send out a message to the rest of the heavyweight division, he's got to now close the distance, yeah, let some shots go, and he needs to be prepared to miss that first phase, but leave himself in position to land that second phase. Because, like I said before, no combination punching. There's a good jab to the body, right hand to the head from Anthony Joshua. Helenius is against the ropes. I still think AJ's going to get him out. Maybe this round, next round. The distance is closing. Good left hook there from AJ. Helenius blocks it, but you can see Helenius' legs are going. Like AJ's closing right in now. You can see the legs from Helenius are going, but Helenius is still dangerous from the counter. Good jab from Anthony Joshua. Good double jab from Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua's closing. He's in the pocket. That's lovely from AJ. He threw a triple jab for a change there. That was good. A bit of head movement. AJ's closed the distance. He's now in the pocket. There you go. He's now in the pocket, but Helenius is still dangerous. AJ missed with the right hand. AJ missed with the actually like a left hand. AJ missed with the shot and oh, there it was, the right hand over the top. Got him. Devastating. Fight over. What a shot there from Anthony Joshua. There you go. That's the way to answer the critics there. Anthony Joshua ended it there with a big jab and the right hand over the top. Helenius' hands too far from his face. Anthony Joshua leaves the arena. That's fucking crazy. He just walks out the arena. He's trying to walk out of the arena. Big Mac Leon McKenzie's there with him. Shout out to my man Leon McKenzie. AJ's in the crowd celebrating with his dad there. It looks like he's tried to leave the arena, but they tried to stop him leaving the arena. He just jumped out the ring and walked straight out. That's a cracking shot from Anthony Joshua. What do you think about that performance there? There you go, Anthony Joshua. That's a highlight reel knockout there from Anthony Joshua. What do you think? Highlight reel knockout there from Anthony Joshua. There. And what do you guys think? Do you think that performance will be enough to end it? Listen, he's always got that in him, isn't he? You can see there, Helenius' legs started to go. The pace started to catch up. You could see in the last couple of rounds there, AJ was beginning to close in on him when he was beginning to close in on him. And you saw there what happened there. He closed the distance. Helenius, like I said before, always holds his hands too far from his face, doesn't tuck his hands close to his chin. He never adjusts his guard. And the overhand right came over. Helenius' hands were all over the place. And there it was. It was a beautiful shot. Let's have a look there. You could see, though, he's starting to close the distance a little bit more. And that's a good setup from Anthony Joshua there. If you look at Anthony Joshua, what he does, he jabs into the palm of the jab hand as a dummy, and then he throws the right hand over the top. It's very clever from Anthony Joshua. We've seen Tyson Fury, other boxers do that in the past. Look at Anthony Joshua. If you look at the first jab from the knockout, he throws the jab right into Joshua-Helenius' glove. Then he throws one to the body, and then he throws the right hand up top, and he catches him perfectly on the chin. There's a nice little setup from Anthony Joshua. Off the double jab, wasn't it? It wasn't a conventional double jab because it was a double jab to the head and then to the body and then to up. But, you know, look, it was good. I've been calling for that kind of action all night there. The right hand off the double jab, you know, double jab, right hand came over the top. Not the conventional way, but still, it's better than nothing. Let's have a look. Let me just change the thing. Let me just change the title of the stream, guys. Daryl, do you want to call in? Let me know, Daryl. If you do, I'll start handing out links. What round was that? Round 8? Someone tell me, was that in round? No, I didn't really call that. I can't really say I called it because that wasn't really the double jab that I wanted. But I was looking for a double jab to the head, bring the feet in behind, and then throw the right hand. But look, it was better than nothing what we got in the end. But he did throw the right hand off the double jab, and it was nice. Threw one to the palm of the glove. There was a nice little bait shot from Anthony Joshua. He didn't throw the jab to the head. He threw the jab to the palm of Helenius' glove. He threw the second one to the body, and then he threw the right hand. But what changed that fight for me? What changed that fight for me was Helenius' legs. You could see Helenius' legs start to go. I don't want to say the truth about this fight because if I say the truth about this fight, then people will say that I'm being hating on AJ. So I'm not going to give you my opinion yet. We'll wait for Tony and Daryl and the rest of them to come on. Daryl, if you're there, let me know if you want to come on. Shevin, are you there? Let me know if you want to come on. Can you guys just give me 3 seconds? I'm just going to change the graphics and then we're going to get a call-in going. Just give me a sec and we'll get going. So let me do this. This is a one-man operation. Okay, so just give me 1 sec. Anthony Joshua, brutal KO, Joshua-Helenius. What round was that? About round 8? It was about round 8, wasn't it? Round 8 is Deontay Wilder next. Right, let's get the call-ins going. Who would like to call in and give their opinion on this? I'm looking to hear from Shevin if possible. I'm looking to hear from Daryl if possible. There you go. Right up on the screen there. Breaking news, breaking news. There you go. Anthony Joshua brutally KOs Joshua-Helenius in round 8. You can never write off a fighter like Anthony Joshua because he has the power to absolutely light up anybody at any given time. And I will give him that. Let me go through your comments while we're waiting for people to call in. Right, Shevin wants the link. Okay, cool. So let me get the link out to Shevin. Let me get my headphones ready. And then I'll go through your comments and we'll get people in. If anybody sees Tony or Bayloric TV, tell them they want it. Daryl, the link's in the chat for you. Shevin, the link's in the chat for you. Anthony Joshua versus Deontay versus Joshua-Helenius. Does that tell you he's ready for a man like Wilder? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Deontay Wilder has been outboxed, yeah, by a lot worse people than Anthony Joshua. So we have to give Anthony Joshua some hope. I think he can beat Wilder, to be honest with you, because I think he's a better boxer and he has the power. But we'll wait and see. I'm going to be honest with you, there are a lot of alarm bells in the performance that I saw tonight from Anthony Joshua. To be honest with you, and I'm reluctant to say that because I know people are going to say that I'm being a hater, but I'm being honest. Like, let's go through your comments. Abdul Amare says, Hearn looks unimpressed. Give us your thoughts. Let me get my headphones ready for the call-in. Shevin and Daryl, the links are in the chat. Pin to the top of the YouTube chat if you want to call in. Guys, what do you guys think? Let's get the comments in. Robert Smith says, the Wilder who beat Helenius would starch this man, but what does Wilder have left? Yo King is asking, how active has Wilder been? Exactly, Wilder's not been very active. Balaj says it was a decent fight in the end. Rob Smith says, what, he's not a better boxer than Wilder? You must be crazy. AJ far better boxer than Deontay Wilder, bro. AJ far better boxer than Deontay Wilder. But look, I will be honest with you, and I'll say this. If you're an Anthony Joshua fan, right, I'm not sure he's ready for Wilder based off that performance. But if he's not going to fight Wilder now, when's he going to do it? Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. Dan W says, Ultra no, man, come on. Does Wilder land versus AJ? Yes, therefore the fight is over. Come on, man. It's heavyweight boxing, man. Anything can happen in heavyweight boxing. Wilder sends Joshua into level 2 Halo orbit. What? Shevin, can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? You're live, man.
I can hear you very clearly, my friend.
Okay, brother. Thank you very much for calling on because you've given me a chance to go and have a breather. So, Anthony Joshua, TKO, Robert Helenius. Now, you have to give Anthony Joshua credit. That was an absolutely brutal knockout, yeah, from Anthony Joshua. So, you've got to give him the credit that he carries power. We all know he's got the ability to knock out anybody. We all know you are a resident Deontay Wilder fan. Should he fight Deontay Wilder next? What do you think about the performance tonight, Shevin?
Well, one, I mean, he's not going to fight Deontay Wilder next. I mean, we wouldn't do it on that route. Why? That's not. I don't believe that. It's complete nonsense. Man, the performance. I thought it was. I went on a scale of 1 to 10. I would give it a 6 or 7, maybe. It's just, people. You know me. People don't keep the same energy. And I try and pride myself, not just in boxing or basketball or football, but in life, of keeping the same energy. If I tell Ultra he's a fat ass for eating Five Guys, I would tell my grandmother, you're a fat ass grandmother for eating Five Guys. I don't change my energy. At least I try not to, like most people. Anthony Joshua, by his fans and, certain media and some boxing fans, British boxing fans primarily, they think that, he's the second or third best heavyweight in the world. But we saw the ridicule that Tyson Fury received for going rounds without a wallet. And I promise you, there would have been a lynch mob of people with torches marching down Alabama Road had Deontay Wilder had his eye closed and nose bloodied and gone 8 rounds with Robert Helenius. So people need to stop moving the goalposts and keep the same energy, all right? They didn't rate Robert Helenius, say he was a complete bum. Anthony Joshua just went 8 rounds with a bum, all right? So I'm keeping the same energy that all heavyweight boxing Fury critics or Wilder critics keep. I'm going to keep the same energy with Anthony Joshua. Something you said earlier during the stream that caught my attention, and I kept notes during the fight. This notion about, he can hurt Wilder. He has the power to hurt Wilder. Yeah, I think he can hurt him. But in the third round, I saw Anthony Joshua, he's very fresh, landed a clean right hand, middle of the third round on Helenius, and it did nothing. In the fourth round, he landed not 1, but 2 clean right hands on Helenius' chin, and it did nothing. In the sixth round, he landed a clean right hand on Helenius' chin, and it did wobble him a little bit. In the seventh round, he landed another clean right hand on Helenius' jaw, and it wobbled him a little bit. Then we saw the eighth round, the final right hand that, ended up stopping the fight. So, not to mention that, Anthony Joshua now has 3 knockdowns in his last 61 rounds, okay? A heavyweight fighter who's a concussive puncher has 61 rounds and 3 knockdowns in his last 61 rounds. 2 of those knockdowns come to 40-year-olds. He's still a top 10 boxer to me. He's still a top 10 heavyweight. I rate Anthony Joshua. I just think there are 6 or 7 guys in the heavyweight division that he would not beat. So overall, I think it's good for boxing. It's good for British boxing to see him win because the reality is we know had he lost this fight, his career is finished. Heck, even had he gone 12 rounds, his career could have been finished. So I'm glad he won because there's potential for bigger fights out there. I can see him fighting a Hrgovic next or a Jarrell Miller next. He's not fighting Deontay Wilder. So those are all solid fights. I wouldn't mind seeing him versus Miller. I wouldn't mind seeing him versus Hrgovic because honestly, I believe that's his level, which is a solid level. Top 10 guy, a top 10 heavyweight. Those are interesting fights that I would like to see. So overall, he did what I thought he would do. No, that's not true. I thought he'd get him out of there early rounds. He didn't. And we all know Helenius to be chinny, but a good boxer. A good durable guy. But for a guy who, again, was fighting in a car park in a mall a week ago, a guy who was knocked out by Gerald Washington, a guy who was knocked out in about 200 seconds by Deontay Wilder. And I know we can't play the boxing trifecta or boxing math here, but if everyone else is going to play it, then I'm going to play it. And that is keeping congruent, parallel energy. So I'm using the standards of other people, and I'm using the standards of everyone else in boxing, Anthony Joshua's fans, Fury's fans, Wilder fans. That performance was pathetic.
So freezing boxing, you can come.
One last second. Also, you know what? Too, I'm sorry to interrupt you. This is why Tony made such a great point. And I love what Tony said last.
Where is Tony? Where is Tony?
I don't know where he's at, but the point he made on your live about a week ago or a few days ago, where he said, "This is why taking on Helenius is a stupid decision by Eddie Hearn from a marketing standpoint, because he's not going to do what Wilder did. And he's going to go several rounds with him if he knocks him out. He could get hurt. So compare it to what other people have done to Helenius, this performance was embarrassing. So he did look bad. And we also saw Hrgovic go 12 rounds and nearly lose to Dempsey McKean. So they should have fought Hrgovic, because if Anthony Joshua can't knock out Philip Hrgovic, he needs to go ahead and call it quits as well, because he's not as good as I thought he was either. He's a tough fighter. He will be there. He will stand, like you said. However, the guy has no conditioning past the 4th or 5th round, and Anthony Joshua does.
Right, let me, Shevin, don't go anywhere. Let me bring in Dazza, because Dazza's here. Tony is around because Tony's just done a video with his own channel. I had to leave Tony a comment on his own channel saying, "Where the fuck are you, nigga? Let's get going." Dazza, what are you saying, G? It's been a while.
What's happening, man? Good to see you. How are you going? You good?
Well, it is what it is, Dazza. I'm glad it's happening. Dazza, let me tell you, I'm glad you guys are here, because if I said these kind of things, people call me a hater. 354 in the chat. Before I let Dazza speak, 354 in the chat. Only 111 likes. If you enjoyed the stream and you guys enjoyed this roundtable conversation, please hit the like button. Please let us know. Daryl's been in the ring. He's had fights. Sheva's doing MMA, believe it or not. And Tony will be coming on shortly. We've got fucking even Abdul's here. Oh, my God. All right, Dazza, give me your opinions on that fight. What do you think about Anthony Joshua? Is he progressing? If he's Abdul, boy, don't go anywhere, Abdul. Dazza, let's go.
AJ looked so tentative. Like, he was very patient, but at the same time, like, getting himself into range at times, it was taking him an age to get there. Like, his feet looked quite slow. And like Helenius, for the most part, was really just using a jab, using a lead hand and staying out of the way. And AJ didn't really seem to have an answer for how he was trying to cut the ring off and find angles and find his rhythm. It took him probably 4 or 5 rounds to actually get a decent rhythm. And during that time, he was getting picked off at times. He looked like he was losing that long range jabbing battle. It was a strange performance, but he got there in the end. Like, he found his range, he got inside. I think the finishing combination was jab to the head, jab to the body, and then overhand right, and then just put his lights out. But a guy like Helenius, who's towards the end of his career and coming off of 1 week, I think he fought like a week ago, and coming off a big knockout before that to Wilder, he shouldn't really be going 7-8 rounds. It's quite ridiculous, to be honest.
I listen to every word. Dazza, I listen to every word of that, bro. I just mute myself, by the way, so that people don't, do you know what I mean? Don't think I jump in. Dazza, let me just go on, Shevin. Ask Dazza a question then. Tony's here. Tony, I'm going to bring you right in, yeah? But let me just let other people. So, Tony, Tony, don't go anywhere. Just give me 2 minutes. Shevin, ask Dazza, then I want to ask Dazza a question. Go on, Shevin.
Yes. Quickly, I'm glad Tony is here as well. Tony, I hope you heard my point, Tony, about the point you made. This is why it was stupid to fight Robert Helenius, because he was going to look this way most likely. It was just very stupid. Now, that was a quick question for you. Ultra mentioned a few times during the stream that Anthony Joshua really struggles with tall fighters, not short fighters. And I agree with that assessment. And let's just play make-believe land as though he's going to fight Wilder next, which I don't believe he is and never was. But Wilder is someone, while terrible footwork, we know the boxing is not on the level of Joshua's from a technique standpoint. But Wilder is great at timing, some of the best, probably the best in heavyweight division, and he's also great at distance. He knows the distance. What do you see would be a problem for Anthony Joshua closing the distance versus a guy like Wilder?
I think Joshua's big problem against Wilder is that AJ starts really slowly. So if you like in the 2 fights against Usyk and this fight as well, it takes him 3, 4, and 5 rounds to figure out what he wants to do and what his game plan is. And even if you listen to the corner work in the first few rounds, he was really just going a back and forth dialogue with Derek James, trying to find out what he was doing wrong. He couldn't think for himself in that ring. And Wilder doesn't give a man time to think. Like he stopped so many people early, like Stiverne, Brazil. Like he just comes out and throws big bombs, and they're accurate for the most part too. Like what Wilder is very, very powerful, great from long range with those powerful shots. And I think that AJ is going to have some trouble in those first probably 3-4 rounds, just trying to survive in there. If Wilder just gets that same rhythm going with him. So yeah, I think if he starts slowly against Wilder, it'll be over really early, really quick.
Daryl, don't go anywhere, okay? I just want to bring Tony in. Tony, unmute yourself.
What's going on? How you doing?
Where you at, my homeboy? Where you at, G? Let's have it, man. What do you think about that before? Abdul, I see you, Abdul. I ain't forgotten about you, Abdul. Just hold fire. Tony, what are we saying?
Knockouts do not tell the tale of the story. This dude has regressed so bad. All he did was throw onesie-twosies. His hooks were non-existent. His uppercut wasn't even in the fight. It stayed at the hotel, didn't show up to the ring. I think AJ has looked worse ever since he left Tony Sims. In my opinion, he was a different fighter under Tony Sims. He went to Rob McCracken and he started going downhill. And then Derek James, to me, he looks even worse. He looks more timid with Derek James than he did with Robert Garcia for the one fight he had him for. Like, I don't understand why he left Tony Sims. You would think that a guy would have enough sense, whatever disagreement they had, put it to the side. This is business. Make me better. Go back to the guy who made you great. So I don't know. I feel like I don't see him beating Wilder. He looked scared in this fight. He looked scared at times.
I'm listening. Oh, Tony says I can mute himself. I mean, I'm listen. Right before I bring in Abdul, let me push you guys along by saying this, right? Okay, and then we'll go through Daz, and then we'll go through Shevin and go back to Tony. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on this fight. The only reason why AJ got the knockout that he got knocked out tonight was because Joshua-Helenius gassed out and his legs went. You could see rounds 5, you could see round 6, round 7. Helenius had nothing left in the gas tank, and AJ was able to just stalk him and walk him down. And AJ's very, very good, in fights where he can just walk in for free and walk opponents down and walk himself into range. Anytime you make Anthony Joshua have to work himself from the outside to the inside, so he has to get past the jab, for instance. If Anthony Joshua has to get past a long jab, or if Anthony Joshua has to get past fast feet, it's going to become a problem. That's my honest assessment of tonight's fight. I could see the fight was going to end where it was going to end, and I was saying, like, this fight's going to be over in a round or two. You could see that Joshua-Helenius, look, there's only so much you can do on a 1-week camp, right? There's, or 1 week ago, he was in some Finnish castle training for absolute bums, right? And next minute now, he's been thrown in under the lights in an O2 arena. For me, if you want my honest 100% opinion, I thought Joshua-Helenius put in a very, very good performance tonight to go 7 rounds in a fight, with an Anthony Joshua who had been training for 2 or 3 months for a championship level fight, I think Joshua-Helenius was exceptional. And I think that what happened in this fight was quite simple. The gas tank just wasn't there for Joshua-Helenius. Like I said before, you can't just step into a boxing ring, like I said before, at 1 week's notice and jump in against the kind of caliber of opponent of Anthony Joshua and fight at that pace. And eventually his legs slowed down. As his legs slowed down, you can see his back start touching the ropes. He wasn't able to get himself off the ropes, and you can see what was coming in this fight. So if you're asking me my honest opinion tonight, the knockout from Anthony Joshua was absolutely fantastic. But to be honest with you, the knockout to me was more about Helenius than it was about Anthony Joshua. Daryl, what's your opinions on that, Daryl? Any opinions that you got on that, Daryl? Anything you want to lead off with?
No, I agree with that. I agree with Shevin as well that I don't think he's going to fight Wilder next because he's not had the preparation for it. I think bringing in an opponent like Helenius on the fact that he was a late notice replacement just shows the lack of faith that they have in him at this stage in his career. He should have taken Hrgović. I think Hrgović was the next best opponent he could have fought that was available on that card. And I think that he's going to need a lot of work to get his confidence level up to where it needs to be able to be competitive with Wilder. I don't think that's a competitive fight at all.
Yeah, I agree, Dazzle. You guys
Sorry. I'm muting myself. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I hear you. Abdul, unmute yourself. Daryl, I heard every word. I'm trying to mute myself as well. Abdul, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts. Daryl, I thought your thoughts were absolutely fantastic. We'll talk about Wilder next year. But Abdul, I want to give you a chance to quickly have your say. And then I'm going to quickly boot your ass off here because I've got people queuing up left, right, and centre.
No worries.
Abdul, let rip. Anthony Joshua, where are we at? Wilder next?
Anthony Joshua is done. All the fanboys, it's time to hop off the train. It's finished. It's run out of fuel. It's gone. Okay? It's not going to be repaired. The repairman can't do nothing. Okay? It's done. So just hop off the train now. Say, wave goodbye. Just say, you know, it was a good ride. That's it. You know? Just forget about it. For me, I don't know if anyone saw it, but it was a bit like a knockoff fight against Tyson Fury. If you wanted to have any idea what it would be like, Joshua and Fury, just watch what happened. Forget about the knockout. Forget about how the fight ended. But you see how AJ was getting frustrated, not able to get inside? Tyson Fury would do that to him. And you know what's worse? Tyson Fury got ring generalships. He got gamesmanship. He knows how to, do some sly things in the ring. So AJ got no chance. So if you wanted to get a snippet, if those of you who have a faith in AJ and think that AJ is going to beat Fury, that should confirm everything for you. This guy is not going to beat Fury. Never. You know, before people thought, but now after this performance, you should, rule it out completely. He's never going to beat Fury.
Wilder,
to be honest with you, I think Wilder will beat him because Wilder has a bigger heart. That's it. This guy, he's taken too long. He's tentative. Wilder's just going to go inside. He's going to launch. He might get knocked out, but he will probably knock out AJ before, because AJ's taken too long. He's analyzing. He's taking looks. You don't have time to do that against Wilder. He got fast feet, something that I didn't hear any of the panel mention. He's got fast feet. He closes distance very quickly. He'll do one, bam! The second one comes through and you're finished. It's over. His punch power is ridiculous. I just think, and as well, what's he going to do in the press conferences? What's he going to do in a face-to-face? I think he'll get a bit intimidated. He looks a bit like a kid in the ring saying, I can't land my hat, I can't land the right, I can't land. What? Tell me one world champion who said that. Tell me one all-time great that says stuff like that in the corner.
Did he say that in the corner tonight, Abdul?
Yes.
I didn't hear.
He did. He said, I can't land the right hand for some reason. I can't land it.
Yeah, not close enough. He was throwing it from fucking. You can see that right hand coming from the M25. Abdul. Abdul, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
One thing.
Did we see Terence do that last week? Did we see Errol do that last week? We didn't. Do you understand? There's levels.
Can I ask you something, Abdul?
Yeah.
Simple thing. I always ask about combination punching, the double jab from Anthony Joshua. Is it me or do we never see Anthony Joshua throw a double jab? I'll ask Tony about this in a second. We'll ask about a few things, but simple things like a double jab. Do you see that? I can't, other than the knockout, I didn't see a single double jab from Anthony Joshua tonight, other than the one that finished the fight.
He didn't do anything.
Like, these are like the basics of boxing. Like, you're struggling to get from the outside. I'll get Tony on this in a minute. You're on the outside, as a smaller man, and you're trying to close distance on a tall man. Double jab is a lovely way to do that. A double jab, bring your feet behind, close range, let your hands go.
Yeah.
Just these basic bits and bobs that Daryl.
He's just frightened of getting hit. When you're frightened of getting hit, it's like going to a swimming pool and you're frightened of getting wet. How are you going to swim?
Yeah.
How are you going to swim? You can't. You got to take a few licks to get inside, and then you work. You got to have some faith in yourself. I think he don't have any faith in his durability. And you can see all night he had the guard high. He had the EMFs on all night. Even, how is a lesser opposition putting his hand down? Helenius had his hand down a lot of the fight and just moving around. It shows the confidence level. The journeyman has more confidence than you. This is bad, guys.
Sign us off, Abdul, and then I'm going to go to Hasnain from TMT. Go on, Abdul. Sign us off with Anthony Joshua. Is he going to fight Wilder next? Do you think that's the kind of performance where? But then, Abdul, I mean, look, at the end of the day, he's got to fight Wilder at some point.
No, I think that's it now. He's at the point now where Eddie Hearn, the whole gang, even himself, they're just cashing out. He's going to get as much money as he can, fight Wilder, collect the bag. It's going to be life-changing for him and his family. I know he's got a lot of money, but clearly it's not enough. So he's going to go get the bag from Saudi. And Fury, I don't think he'll ever fight Fury, to be honest with you. And, let's see what happens. I don't think he'll beat Wilder. I think Wilder will knock him out. And yeah, it's just sad. And it was very strange. What was he doing at the end of the fight, going around the ring? I think the guy might have some,
He's
I
not
think,
right. He is
yeah, mentally he's
100%
not right.
gone. I want to ask Tony about that in specifics, but
And he's saying to people, "Can they leave me alone? Can people leave me alone?" I think he's showing fragility there, and all of that is no as a fighter. No.
He is 100% not there mentally. I will talk about that in a second.
Finished.
Abdul, you're a legend, man.
All the best, guys. I listen. Especially Tony's. I like Tony's opinions. All the best, guys.
Yeah, everybody loves Tony. Yeah, that's why Brie. Yeah, bastard. All right, cheers, Abdul. Hasnain, unmute yourself before we get Tony in. Hasnain.
What's up, guys? How's it going, Ultra? Big up to everyone, first and foremost. I'm always listening to your shows. I don't come on much, don't sign in and comment much, but I'm always listening. You've always got a good show going on. My 2 pence, for what it's worth, yeah, this guy, he's done out here, man. He's done. Right from the start, you go right from the start. And I ain't a hater, by the way. I like Anthony Joshua. I think he's humble in places, and it's a good story and everything. But he's not that guy that they're making him out to be. Go right from the start. He's lost something from Ruiz to Usyk. He's just lost something mentally. That he's come out with the violin, and then his music, his theme music after that was just a joke. His walk down the ring was so nervous. It reminded me of Amir Khan coming to the ring against Kell Brook. He was looking down. He didn't know where to look. He was just out of sorts. And then this guy's taken the fight on 5 days' notice. You should be, you should take 30 seconds to find your distance, and boom, boom, you got him out of there. This guy started hurting him. AJ was marked up. The only reason he landed that shot was because he only had 6 days notice. After round 6, he got tired, and that's why the distance closed. Take out the knockout punch. In my opinion, the best punch in that fight was Helenius' check left hook.
Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot.
Apart from the knockout.
Beautiful shot.
Beautiful shot. Sorry, just one more thing. After the fight, he's jumped out. He's done a lap of honor. That wasn't planned. He's all over the place in his interview. He doesn't know what to say. He's just mentally, the guy's not there. Like, I got love for AJ. He needs to stay away from Wilder. Fury's gonna toy with this guy. I would, if I was him, if I was a close friend of his, I would be saying to him, listen, you got over 50 M's in the bank. You need to be considering calling it a day. You don't need to prove anything, because it's going to be a horrible ending. I think today Dillian White might have caused him problems.
Jesus Christ.
Caused that AJ problems today.
Listen, it's. I have to tell you, and it makes me sick to say this, as styles make fights. That's not a stupid comment. But it's not because Dillian White prepared 3 months for a fucking camp. Robert Helenius had 1 week, and we saw what he did. Now, different styles, obviously, right? But White had time to prepare. Hasnain, Wilder next. Do you think that fight's going to happen?
If Eddie Hearn's got anything to do with it, of course it's going to happen. AJ's going to have that ego thing. Wilder needs the fight because he hasn't got the amount of money that AJ has, right? So Wilder's always going to opt for the fight. And he'll think, after watching this, he'll think it's an easy night's work. Eddie Hearn's going to win it all day because we know what he's about. The question is AJ's team going to be wise enough to sit him down and say, listen, you don't need to be anywhere near that fight? AJ himself, I think he's going to have an ego thing. He's going to be like, look, you know what? I really didn't impress today. Deep down, he knows he didn't impress today. 8 rounds, and then he's just caught him and he's sent him to sleep. But he's going to be winning it because he's going to think he can do a job and redeem his reputation. But I don't think he should be going near that fight. To answer your question, will it happen? I think it will, because money talks.
Quick comment there. Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua both have made about nearly $100 million in their career.
Yeah, okay. I know. Shevin always gets our time. People question.
I mean, it's a silly thing to say.
Yeah. No, wait, but
sorry.
I think
just on the point, Shevin, what he might have made $100 million in his career, but in terms of the endorsements and stuff, I don't think he's going to have the level of wealth as AJ. I think Deontay Wilder would want to fight more than AJ would want to.
I agree with you. However, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, those 2 guys have earned more money than 95% of every boxer to have ever walked Earth, and they've earned more money than 99.9% of human beings to ever have walked this Earth. Okay, so neither of those guys need
like
money.
a god.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll see. Hasnain, I think it's a very good call, and people in the chat think you're good as well. Can you call in next time, because we'd like to hear from you again on some of these big fights, man. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, appreciate it. I think the last time I came on was Khan v. Brook. Like I said, I don't sign in and comment much, but I'm always listening to you guys. It's a top show.
That's it. The legendary Khan. Scandal proof. No scandal can take out Khan, isn't he? Khan, he's like Teflon, isn't he? Like, no matter what happens, mate. Amir Khan just keeps trundling on. Yes, Hamir. Yes, Hasnain. Catch you soon, my brother. Peace out, my
Cheers,
man.
guys, man. Take it easy. Tell
Take
guys.
take care. Tony, can you unmute yourself, Tony?
Yes, I can.
Tony. Anthony Joshua. Shevin, stay there now. It's just us three. Anthony Joshua's mentally gone. People are going to call me a hater, Tony, but I don't give a shit what anybody says. I'm going to tell you how it is. Guys in the chat, press 10 if you agree, press 8 if you disagree. Tony, did you see the bit when he tried to walk out and leave the arena straight after the knockout, and then the people held him from going out? He actually tried to leave the arena straight after the knockout. That's what he wanted to do. As soon as he's not the guy who wanted to walk out the ring and walk straight into the back. And for some reason, security fucking circled him and said, "What are you doing? You can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere." And then he started high-fiving people in the crowd. Tony, he's fucking mentally, he's gone, Tony. He must smoke the reefer. You know, Tony, do you know what it is, yeah, with this weed game, yeah? I don't smoke it, Tony, because you know some people, it makes them all paranoid, yeah? And they just can't take the weed in it. Some people can't handle the reefer. Do you know what I mean? AJ can't handle the reefer. Whatever his deal is giving him, it's too strong. He needs to get off it, yeah, and get off it because it's too much for him. That shit make you paranoid, Tony. I'm just being real, Tony, innit? I'm just telling you, like, the guy is out there, man.
I will give you a better analogy. He's got big dog, little dog syndrome. Now, I know you've seen this all over YouTube, IG, Twitter, or maybe in real life with a friend. You'll see a little ass Chihuahua, and it'll be running pit bulls, Rottweilers, Dobermans. It doesn't matter. This little teeny Chihuahua runs them. That's what happened to AJ. He got beat up by a little Chihuahua, and now this English Bulldog doesn't know what he is. He thinks he's smaller than a Chihuahua, and he's got no confidence. I see a lack of confidence. I saw him very timid in this fight, scared to go in. And the worst thing in the world that you can have in the ring is being scared, because when you're scared, you don't let shots go when you should. You don't get out of the way of shots when you should, because you're overthinking, like, oh shit, here it comes. Oh shit, no, here it is. He's fainting. What do I do? Oh my God. And then you get hit. And against a guy like Wilder, who can go from 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds, that's a horrible tendency to have. His defense looked horrible in this fight. Like, I didn't even see any waist movement, head movement, nothing. Like, I remember we could go way back. AJ used to be a guy who was extremely confident. He was the bully. And like most bullies, when they get beat, they never recover. And we found out that he was a bully. He tried to be a bully going into this fight with Helenius on stage, talking about, we can either fight right now or we can fight tomorrow, but either way, we're going to fight. Well, he did that way back to Dominic Brazil, and he's been known to do that in interviews as well. So he was always a bully. When a bully gets beat, they lose their confidence. And I believe, despite the I'm the good guy attitude that they try to do on him, he's just a bully. And he's met his maker. Like, as far as Wilder goes, his confidence is still through the roof. He may have came up with a million excuses about everything, but you saw when he fought Helenius, he still came forward. He still fought him. He wasn't scared. The loss didn't define him. Well, the two losses didn't define him. He just went right back like he had never lost. And the thing about AJ, what I was bringing up is, if he's scared to let go, if he's standing or going straight backwards like he did against Helenius, against a Wilder, it's over in the first round. He's going down. Like, if Ruiz could drop him with one punch, what's going to happen whenever Wilder lands on him? Then, if you look at his punch resistance, Helenius, thinking back to like Chisora, Gerald Washington, who we saw tonight, Dillian didn't fight him. Who fought Gerald Washington? Who else knocked him out? I don't know. This man been knocked out so many times. I don't ever recall a time when Helenius did that much damage to a fighter outside of maybe Kalnaki, but that dude was trash anyways. So AJ offered just a couple of shots. His eye was swelling real bad, nose busted up. I'm seeing all the indications of he's at the tail end, and this is the twilight of his career. Like, the combinations are gone. The being willing to stand in the pocket like he did against Charles Martin, which I went on a tangent and got off of. He beat Charles Martin by standing mid-range, slipping to the side, and catching him with the counter. That's how he dropped him both times. And in this fight, he kept as much gap as he could, and even whenever he was letting go of the right hand, it was from a range that was too far for him to land.
Too far out.
Yeah, he was acting like he had a sniper rifle, but he showed up with a .22 pistol. Like, he just couldn't reach the target.
Shevin, you there?
Yes. Yeah, I'm here.
I want to ask you to follow up on what Tony said, and it's about Anthony Joshua's pre-fight conduct. The way he said to Helenius, what did he say? If you want to fight, we can fight now, and this and that. I have to be honest, Shevin. The actions, well, but maybe you can say they do add up because he devastatingly knocked Helenius out, but his behavior doesn't add up. And his behavior, Shevin, to me, is not consistent with what goes on in the ring, Shevin, because he talks like a massive dog to Helenius going into the fight. Well, if you want to fight, we can fight now. But then he comes out, Shevin, and he's tentative straight away, and he's hiding behind the jab.
Well, I think I see that slightly differently, and you probably do as well when I explain what I mean by that point. His behavior does add up in the sense that people who behave that way, especially in combat sports, usually are unsure of themselves. They're trying to put off a persona to convince everyone who's watching and or possibly convince themselves that they are something that they're not. And it just shows how unsure someone is of themselves. It's very similar to what Tony said of the dog syndrome. The small barking, growling Chihuahua who's barking and growling. They're trying to let the bigger dog know that, I'm here, I'm fierce, I'm going to do this to you, in hopes that action potentially scares the other dog into not killing them. It's a fear tactic they try to put on to try to scare the other person and pretend it's something that they're not. And to see him, Anthony Joshua has failed so much in the essence of not putting pressure on himself. When I saw him try to literally run out of the ring after that fight, is because he knows that performance was less than it should have been.
Keep talking. That's absolutely bang on. That is bang on. He knew the performance wasn't good enough. He knew.
He knew when his eye was halfway closed, blood's running out of his mouth, blood's coming out of his nose. He knows that was embarrassing, okay? With the standard that he sets for himself and the standard that his fans and Matchroom and all British boxing media set for him, he knows, based on those standards, that was embarrassing. And he wants to get away from addressing how embarrassing it was. I didn't get to hear his post-fight speech. Did either of you guys hear it? What did he say?
I didn't hear it.
I don't know. I was making a video.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't hear it, and we've got Vanguard's Amanda who's just about to come in and talk to us and whether. But he said, according to Richard, he said he needs to stay busy and he thinks he needs to get out again before the end of the year. Guys in the chat, did he really say that? Apparently, according to Richard, that he may have said in a post-fight interview that he needs to stay busy and that he may need to get out again at the end of the year or something like that's been said. Which, if something like that has been said, that tells me you're not fighting Wilder next. No way.
No,
carry on, Jim. You're not fighting Wilder anyway.
Yeah, he's not fighting Wilder, period.
Because they pushed the date back. It was supposed to be December. Now they're talking about January. So you're going to see that date slowly get pushed back more and more.
Yeah, neither one of those dates work anyway because of college football and NFL playoffs anyway.
Right, let me bring in Vanguards of Manhood, guys, just to talk to us. Vanguards, you're a long-time listener, first-time caller. How you doing, brother?
I am, brother. You have the best goddamn sports show anywhere on the planet right now. And I've not been smoking serious gear to say that.
Unlike AJ.
Well, unlike AJ, look, no one can say he is the undisputed champion of the post-match meltdown. I mean, the man, if he's not throwing belts out the ring, desecrating Ukrainian flags, calling people out for even boxing in the first place. I mean, this poor brother, he is going through some serious pain right now. And it's not the Benjamin.
Tell us.
Well, look, the whole you're spending the time, God bless you, on the tactics. You're spending your boxing insight is fantastic, and you're saying what you should do, what you shouldn't do. Look, I put in the comments, Helenius is little more than a punching bag on legs. Yes, he's got some power. Yeah, he's been in with some serious people. But if you take the AJ Helenius fight and put it next to the Wilder Helenius fight, you see two different animals completely. You see in AJ a guy whose best days are well in the rear view mirror. So many of your guys call it out. They've boxed. They know their stuff. And when you see someone he's punch shy, he doesn't want to get hit, he's sitting back. He actually clipped the knockout punch was Helenius moving back. Yeah, you see this all the time. Fury does it a lot. They're moving back. He clipped him. He went down. I think he went down more through exhaustion.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Fucking anything else. And you call it out. Look, there's a lot of fanboys, AJ fanboys out there. They want to blow Hearn off. They want to blow AJ off. Man, the guy is cashing out. I think one of your callers, what was the lad's name? Was it Mohammed? The chap before?
Hasnain. It might have been Hasnain.
Yeah, Hasnain. Sorry. Sorry. I don't want to get into trouble.
Cancelled.
Well,
Yeah,
look,
cancelled.
Yeah,
Carry
all
on.
respect to him. All respect to him. AJ is a busted flush. There's nowhere to go. He's hoping to cash out. I don't think that. I don't even think that Wilder fight's going to happen. You know that I just can't see it happening. It's been pushed on and pushed on and pushed on, unless they get the big cards with Usyk Fury. Who the hell wants to watch Wilder against AJ? I mean, it's just going to be a shooting match, a turkey shoot, shooting fish in a barrel.
Can I ask you a question, Vanguards, and then I'll put it to the other panel.
Go
One
for it,
fight that nobody's talked about really is Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury for the WBC Championship at Wembley in front of 90,000 in a fight that can make both of them somewhere in the region of $50 to $100 million. But it's Tony, you can have your say in a second, but surely for me, Vanguards, if you're Anthony Joshua, why wouldn't you chase that fight? Because if you fight Wilder, it's a winnable fight, but it's a 50-50 fight where you could get put on a highlight reel for no title. If you fight Tyson Fury and you're losing to the guy that really most people consider to be the number one heavyweight in the division until proven otherwise. I know people talk about Usyk, but look, in reality, it is what it is, right? I don't understand why he doesn't push to go down that route now. Why get in the ring with a 50-50 dangerous puncher like Deontay Wilder, out in Saudi, right? Why don't we just try and make this Fury fight again? Because Fury will outbox him, but Fury's not going to put him on a fucking highlight reel like Wilder might. What do you think about that? Do you think there's any logic in that?
It's a great question, but for me, both promoters and both teams know that this is in the bank. It's a bit like the Can Brook that bubbled away in the background. They know that's always there for a rainy day. Yeah. So that's why he wants to try and jump on the Saudi money and go over and get the fight against Wilder. But look, Fury knows he would totally destroy AJ. I mean, if anybody wants to put up an argument to say that AJ is going to take out Fury, I'd like to hear it, because they'd be talking smack or smoking the strong stuff down in Brixton, down at the old Greenleaf, down in Brixton. Right. Shout out to the Brixton. Shout out to the Brixton posse at the Greenleaf. Yeah. I'm sure nobody knows what I'm talking about. I'm sure they're all going to church tomorrow. Yeah. You've got a nice little bunch of good Christian listeners, but there's no chance. Not in anybody's world that AJ is going to compete against Fury. After watching tonight's performance, the Franklin performance, the fights against Ruiz, the last fight against Ruiz, the two against Usyk, there is no chance. Or if anybody wants to put forward a case that AJ is going to knock Fury out or even survive in there for more than 6 or 7 rounds, I'd like to hear it, because they don't know boxing. With all due respect, they're totally clueless. Eddie Hearn is a double glazing salesman. That's where he made his money. Yeah. Selling shit to gullible clowns and fools. God bless them. In this day and age, there's a lot of gullible people out there. You know that. You live in London. I lived in London. People still vote for Sadiq Khan. Whoops, bit of politics. But, hey, conservative like yourself. God bless you. Another conservative right-wing extremist, right? But look, AJ is done. There's nothing left. He's cashing out, and he wants more Benjamins in the bank. God bless you, Ultra.
Take care, Vanguard.
So I want to explore that real fast. He brought up a good point, but missed the whole point. So Kell Brook, Amir Khan, perfect example of why this fight between Tyson Fury and AJ won't happen. Amir Khan ran from Kell Brook his whole entire career, because it didn't matter how many of us Americans knocked him out. He still had the UK fandom. He still had that marketability over in the UK. However, if he would have lost to Kell Brook, then it would have been known that Kell Brook is the #1 guy from the UK, and Amir Khan would have lost all his ticket sales. So if you put AJ in there with Wilder, the crossover doesn't affect him. The Americans we're still going to watch Wilder. We're still going to watch Fury. We'll still watch AJ. It's not going to stop anything. However, if you have AJ lose to a fellow Brit who's considered the #1, some people think AJ's the #1. I don't know how or why, but they still do. If Fury dusts him off, then AJ's career is over. He'll never get the Wilder fight. It'll just be done. So that's why that fight will never happen unless it's his last fight. With Wilder, it's 50-50. If AJ can get off on him, possibly he can knock him out. But then again, I don't even know, because I watched Deontay Wilder get completely outclassed in 2 fights and still fight back. One, they had to throw a towel. The other one, he finally went down in the 11th, but it took 11 rounds of beating him to death before he dropped, and he was still throwing punches up to that point of going comatose. AJ If you just hit him with the wind of your punch, he'll shut down for a round or two, like he did against Helenius. So
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Like
I don't see how, and this is probably another conversation for another stream. I don't see how anyone sees Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder as a 50-50 fight.
No.
I hope it is. I hope you're right, because if it is, I am going to lay the house on that fight.
Let me just let Vanguards of Manhood sign out, yeah, and then Abdul wants to come back in. And I'll go back to you two guys. Vanguards, sign us out. Sign us out with your final opinions on tonight. Sign us out.
Well, look, it was another Hearn shit show. Let's be honest.
It was. I couldn't even watch it, mate. Johnny Fisher for a Southern Area title. How the fuck does Johnny Fisher for a Southern Area title go so high up the fucking card? Do you know how bad these DAZN cards are these days? You guys may have noticed. I just rock up at 10 o'clock now. I don't even watch the undercard. I just rock up here at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, yeah? And, you know, mainly I spent the first 20 minutes of
Wait a minute. I had to interrupt you. I had to be a rude American. Now, fuck that. You didn't watch the greatest fighter in all of boxing, Campbell Hatton? Are you serious right now?
God.
That was the best fight of the night.
He went 8 rounds tonight, Tony. So give him some clomiphene. Vanguard, sign us out.
Yeah, man. Look, I'll sign out and say great show. But look, what? Let's never forget how Barry Hearn made his money. You know, they sell the dream, they sell the myth, they build up the story, the backstory of the fighter. They look at the way that they're flogging the old dad. They've got to let the old dad speak. Johnny Fisher's dad, the old Bosh. I mean, the man's a walking heart attack waiting to happen. God bless him. But, you know, that's the Hearn little sprinkle, as he calls it. A little sprinkle of shit over nothing. Yeah. A little sprinkle of shit over your kebab at 2 a.m. when no one else is open. All right. And that's what he brings to me. He's a geezer. He sells it. The chicken salad is now turned into chicken shit as soon as Hearn gets involved. I'm sorry. I hate to be honest with you guys, but I've been to the last show that I went to. I went to see Dillian White basically destroy Lucas Brown. It was like a bullfight. He was just waiting to be smashed. And Helenius was doing the same. I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist about boxing, about gambling, about the dope that they use. I've been involved in the game a little bit. And Ultra's absolutely bang on the money when he says, man, everyone is taking it. It's just a matter of time before someone blows the whistle on the whole shit. But look, Ultra, God bless you. God bless you. Great contributors, you great followers, you great supporters. You're the man. And I'll chat to you another time. God bless you, brother.
See you later, my brother. See you later. Okay, Vanguards is out. Look who's come back to have his say. Shevin, I will get back to you, Shevin, because you are due your say, Shevin. So I ain't forgotten about you, my bro. Abdul, unmute yourself.
Yo, I just had to come back and just say, this Helenius is a Helenius who didn't have a full camp. The one who fought Wilder had a full camp and still got knocked out in the first round. That's something we got to think about as well when we're comparing the two performances. And AJ, when he was, squaring up to Helenius the weigh-in and saying to him, "Do you have a problem?" Is AJ the new Sonny Edwards?
Jesus, you're gonna get me in trouble. Jesus.
Is he the new Sonny Edwards, guys? I'm just trying to see where you talk a big game, and then in the ring is something different.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. Shevin, you got any thoughts on that, Shev?
Oh man, I really don't know where Joshua goes from here, man.
That Fury fight. Just give me your opinions on that Fury fight. By the way, how Tony feels about it, and Tony raised some valid points. What do you feel about AJ? Look, don't go in with Fury. Go in with Wilder. It's like, don't go with Wilder. Go in with Fury. Make a shit ton of money. Now's the time to do it before you get put on a highlight reel. What do you think?
Well, I think both of them serve the same threat. I see what Tony is saying in terms of you don't want to lose to Tyson Fury because then you're completely dethroned as like the man in British boxing in this era, right? However, I would agree with that if I thought that he would lose to Wilder on points potentially. If he loses to Wilder, it's going to be really, really bad, like really bad. And I felt that way before he became this whatever he is now. I felt that way for years, just because Wilder is very beatable by 3 or 4, maybe 5 heavyweights in the division. I think potentially could beat Deontay Wilder. However, you can even beat Deontay Wilder with a flaw. I agree with that. He's not a perfect fighter. However, if you are a tall, stand upright fighter that has a defensive flaw. That's why I think Usyk won't beat Wilder either. You're not going to beat Deontay Wilder because you're not going to be able to get out of the way of that right hand. It's going to land a few times, and that's all it needs. 2 or 3 times, and you're going to sleep. So if the loss to Wilder is going to be so bad that, it also, not to mention, after a loss to Wilder and the losses to Usyk 2 times and the loss to Ruiz and the performances afterwards and 12 rounds at Franklin, the offer that Fury would make him take is something he would never take anyway. So the Fury fight is never happening. Fights Wilder first. Wilder hurts him so bad he can't take Fury. Or that loss does so much damage to him commercially, then Fury's going to, Fury's going to really, really, really take him to the cleaners in the negotiations, and he'll never take the fight. So
Well,
that fight would never happen.
Shevin, bit of breaking news here, and I'm going to bring in Blue Collar Sports. How I'm going to do this, because we've still got so many people that want to get on. How I'm going to do it is this, yeah? I'm going to bring in people, and then Tony and Shevin, if you want to jump in and ask them, obviously after they finish making their point, if you've got any questions or anything you want to bounce off after that, you just unmute yourself and bounce off, because I'm keen to give you guys a say. Let me just say this: Richard was right all along. You can see here.
Go ahead.
Tony, just give me 3 seconds, Tony. Anthony Joshua stated that he wants 2 more fights this year. You can see it on the screen. That's now on Michael Benson's page. Guys, if you look at the chat, we've got the social media stream on the right-hand side. Anthony Joshua stated that he wants 2 more fights this year. So that tells you now all that shit about fucking Deontay Wilder in January. The fucking Saudis are over here. What was we heard today, Sharon? Saudi reps are in London looking to make a deal. That is all a crock of shit. Tony, I'll give you 10 seconds. I've got to bring Blue Collar Sports in. But Tony,
I just want to say this because I'm going to hop off and let other people know. But here's the thing.
Okay.
I disagree with y'all.
Sign us out, Tony. Sign us out. Sign yourself out. Go for it.
I'm going to just say I disagree with y'all completely because ever since Tyson Fury got with Sugar Hill, he makes people into a highlight knockout reel, just like Wilder. So it's very well that AJ is going to be sleeping the same way against Fury as Wilder would, except it may be even worse with Fury because he's a much better boxer. So he's going to really embarrass him before he puts him nighty-night. With Wilder, you might just get caught and it's over. With Fury, he's going to embarrass you. So, and he might lick his neck too. He might lick on your AJ before he puts him away. So, y'all have a good day. I appreciate y'all.
All right, Tony, take it easy, bro. Hope that showed the heels, brother.
Take care, Tony.
Just to add to Tony what he's saying, the fight will be lost before he even gets in the ring with Tyson Fury. That's something we have to mention as well.
Well,
leading up to the fight and all that, it's not gonna last, guys. He's gonna mentally the way he is now. He's gonna break at the press conferences. He's gonna lose by the time he's in the ring. He's lost.
I think Wilder would take his heart pre-fight as well.
Yeah, he would take his. I agree with you guys. Let's bring in Blue Collar Sports quickly, and then Abdul, Shevin, if you want to bounce off that's fine. Blue Collar, how you doing?
Yeah, man, I'm good. What a fucking card that was.
Pure shit. Mr. Anderson and I see you. You need to connect your device, otherwise you won't, because you're not, we can't actually bring you in right now, because your device isn't connected. Mr. Anderson, I see you. Okay. Blue Collar Sports, brother, it's always great to have you on. Just flow, man. Tell us how you felt about this main event. How do you feel about Anthony Joshua? The overwhelming opinion tonight, Blue Collar Sports, is that we are looking at a finished Anthony Joshua, both physically and mentally. What do you think about that?
I totally agree. I'm not sure so much physically, quite frankly. I mean, the guy started boxing late. Yeah, he's had a couple of hard fights here and there. I don't think it's physically. I just see a guy who's living inside his own head, who's not confident, seemed unsure of where he was in the ring, when to throw the shots that were there all night, when Helenius was back against the ropes, leaning back. All it took was a double jab step in right hand, which was what finished him. That was there multiple rounds earlier, but he never pulled the trigger. For me, listen, Anthony Joshua, I can't see him rebounding without a big rebuild job, like a real long rebuild. I can't see him recovering. If I was Eddie Hearn, which I'm not, I wouldn't put him in with Deontay Wilder next, personally, because that fight's going to be as one-sided as an amputee's dance routine.
Jesus
Christ. You can't go in with Deontay Wilder second guessing yourself. I don't care how technically limited he is. He's awkward. He's quick. He's mobile. It needs one, and that's the sort of fight where if you're not willing to pull the trigger, Deontay Wilder will pull it for you, and you're out. You're done. Wilder knocks him out in 3 rounds. The only reason I would take that fight other than Fury is because, Wilder's technically limited enough where he could get lucky, land a perfect shot. But either way, he's on a hiding to nothing. I think he gets fucked up by Fury, slow beat down, probably stopped in 10, 11, 12 type of area. He gets slept by Deontay Wilder. Can I just say as well, Tony Bellew was an absolute disgrace tonight. Have you seen that meme? Have you seen that meme? Have you seen that meme? Like the dogs are sitting in the fucking room and the room's on fire. Everything is fine. That's what this guy was like about AJ's performance. He's carrying him, he said. This guy's an absolute fucking clown. I get that these companies, they'll play home for their fighter. I get it. They all do it. But Tony Bellew does it to the extent, like, does this guy have any dignity left?
No.
At all?
No.
We
haven't even talked about the drug testing yet, Blue Collar Sports. So that's another thing we've got to catch up with Tony about when we find out what Dillian White took. But carry on.
Is Dillian his friend? Because that's what it seems to come down to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, what can I say?
If it's a big ugly Russian like Povetkin, ban him for life, put him to the chambers. If it's Billy, they're good lads. They are, they wouldn't do anything.
BCS, sign us out. What do we? I still think Fury's the way to go. Did we ask you mentally? Sign us out with this, BCS. I have to be honest with you. Mentally, AJ's man is a box of frogs. He's gone. He needs to come back down to. I don't know. Do you remember the song from the 80s, Soul to Soul? AJ needs to hook up with Jazzy B and Soul to Soul, and get back to life, back to reality. Because he is literally like disturbingly out of there. That OSIC mental breakdown thing, it was obviously not a one-off because he tried to run out of the ring literally as soon as the fight was ending, and his behavior. He's just bizarre, BCS. He is bizarre. Just sign us up with that.
Well, listen, sometimes you see people in life who are teetering on the edge and they can be dragged back. AJ's too far gone. It's done out here. He gets knocked out by Deontay Wilder. First 3 rounds, gets played with by Tyson Fury, gets retired in his corner, face all swole up. It's over, man. He should have got the Ngannou fight. That's what he should have done. He should have got the Ngannou fight.
That's not a bad shout, actually, at all. BSES, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate you coming on, my brother. And guys, I will get it up while I bring on the next caller. Blue Collar Sports TV. Get that up and get subscribing and give that channel a watch. I will get that up on the page right now. BCS, thank you very much, my brother.
Peace, man. Peace.
See you soon, man. See you soon. I am. Did you go to the fight or what? This is I am. Tickets.
Thankfully not.
Tell us.
To be honest, you guys have thrust it all out. I'll happily give my piece on what I think about AJ and whatnot. But given the story I gave you last week, I'd rather talk about the tickets to start with. Firstly, get well soon, Ultra. I think I've got the same code as you, and honestly, thank God I do, because it meant I didn't end up going to that fight because it was so shit. The whole event was garbage. It was so bad. Literally, what more can I say? I watched the last bit of Johnny Fish's fight. Again, when I say that, I literally mean just last couple of minutes. The Hrgovic fight again, dog shit. The Chisora fight, dog shit. To be honest, I tuned out your stream for the AJ fight, because it was a bit too much to listen to at one go.
Yeah,
but
I understand.
Even the AJ fight was shit. He's so gun shy. I don't really have anything else to add apart from what you guys have already said. But he's mentally gone. He's finished.
He's out.
He is not all there mentally. But I'm under another alias in the chat. But you may remember I said I've got some info for you on those tickets. So
go on.
If you could please, could you load up a seating map of the O2?
Why do I have to load up a seating map of the O2 in the middle of a show with nearly 400 fucking people? I don't even know how to do this.
It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
Hold on. So how do I do this? Tell me how do I do this? Let me quickly do this. So I go to google.com, yeah? And then what do I do?
Just search
Joshua
on
versus... Right.
Oh, no, just type in O2 seating map. That's it.
Are you serious? Okay, O2 seating map.
I'm serious.
Okay, so I don't put in Anthony Joshua in there.
Just O2 because it's generic. Yeah. It's generic.
Okay. All right, let's have a look. I've done it. O2 seating map, and I'm moving that onto the main screen as we be Karuni. I don't think it's showing it, but this is the O2 seating map. Right, where do I go?
Okay, cool. That one with the the fourth one, if possible.
Okay.
I think it was. It had the seats. Yeah, the one with the blue. Yeah, that one. Okay, so long story short, a couple of the people that I had bought tickets for, because I didn't sell all of them on resale websites, and honestly, I can't reach out to this guy, but I genuinely feel bad for the guy that I sold 2 tickets for on a resale website, because the website obviously wants to make their money. And because the event still went ahead, they didn't offer a refund. So he won't know who I am, but genuinely, I apologize to that guy for this shit show.
Where was he
but
sitting?
In terms
Where
of
was he sitting?
he was sitting in 417 right at the back, and I just hope that because it wasn't a sellout, he was able to edge forward a little bit.
Right.
417 is right in the corner.
Yeah, we can see. Yeah, right in the right corner.
But yeah, so you were able to get refunds, and I will give credit to Matchroom for this and Eddie Hearn, because they could have just said, "Oh, listen, the event's still going ahead," but they did give people the option of refunds, and yeah, like fair enough. I think as they should, but at the same time, let's still acknowledge that. So because the seats that I had before were in 417, right at the very back, other people that I knew who I bought tickets for, I offered them the option of refunding them and getting them better seats for the same price. Now, this is a bit of inside information I wanted to give you. So I think from section 415, right, to 408, so you can see that's right in the middle of the U shape in the second tier.
Correct.
So one of the people I bought 2 tickets for, his seats were in 411, which is one of the middle 2 in that back U, right?
Correct. Yeah, right. Yeah.
This morning, I get an email from AXS, which is the ticketing company, and they say, "Oh, some of your seats have had to been relocated due to seating restrictions." And I'm just confused. I'm just like, what's going on? I transferred the tickets to a friend, and I check my app, and I suddenly have these 2 tickets without QR codes. And then I did a bit more digging. I'll cut the story short, but essentially, you touched upon it in the show, but that whole section from 415 to 408 was completely blocked off. They weren't selling tickets there at all. And the reason why is because they didn't want people scattered around the arena. The friend, he actually, well, listen, he got a shit show, but he actually benefited in a way, because I bought him seats in 411 and they edged him forward to 107, which is, as you can see, right below.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
So, and those seats are actually worth £170 versus the £70 seats I bought him. So that just goes to show the fact that they were willing, just to make the show on TV not look like a complete shambles, they were willing to give people seats that were worth literally more than double the price they were, in order to make it appear that, okay, yeah, it's full, there's no spaces, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I hope that was worth loading up the map for. But
well, so there we go. So there you go.
So a shit show, honestly.
So just to clarify, before I move on and bring in Mr. Anderson, then, so a lot of this row started at 408 and going from around about 408 to around about what was it? 408 to 415. 415. So around 415 to around 408. That whole area, they basically couldn't sell tickets in that whole area, so they ended up shutting it off and then moving people forward in order to make the event look full. So some people who had tickets at the back ended up getting moved closer to the ring. Basically because they didn't sell out, in order to make the arena look full. Have I understood that correctly?
Absolutely. it's just shocking, honestly. And
so that's a very useful piece of information, because it does, we do constantly hear on Twitter and things like that about how much of a sellout these fighters are, and obviously there we've heard a bit of a thing elsewhere. Listen, I'm wrapping up in about 5 minutes, man. Thank you very much for calling in, my brother.
Thank you for having me.
Listen.
I promise that's the last time I ever come on and talk about tickets. This whole thing was a nightmare for me. So I will never be buying tickets for a big event like this again. It's not worth it.
Absolutely
but,
fine, brother.
It is what it is. I made about £90 on it, so I can't complain. But still,
at least someone's making a fucking profit. Because after AJ got paid, I'm not sure anybody else made a fucking profit. All right, brother. Catch you soon. All right.
Nice one. Thank you.
Catch you soon. Okay, my man. Shevin, if you're around, Shevin, come back, man, and sign off for us, man. I really apologize to Shevin and Tony. It wasn't my plan. We've got so many fucking people trying to get in. Mr. Anderson, how are you doing, my brother?
Very good, chaps. How are you? Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you loudly and fucking clear. You've got a clearer mic than me, Mr. Anderson. We've still somehow, we've been going for 3 hours. We've still got around about 360 people in the chat. If you please hit the like button, please do. If you'd like to subscribe and be a part of the chat, please feel free to do so. Mr. Anderson, give us your thoughts on tonight's fight. Breaking news, by the way, Mr. Anderson. I always find this very interesting. 17 minutes ago, Eddie Hearn has said that they're going to look to finalize Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. And within 4 minutes, Anthony Joshua's then gone and contradicted Eddie Hearn by saying that he wants 2 more fights this year. Who to believe, Mr. Anderson? I do wonder who to believe. Give us your thoughts, Mr. Anderson.
I'll break down the just the event as a whole real quick. I thought, to be honest, it is a really sorry sort of tale of affairs for like British boxing. Think where AJ was like literally on his second fight or whatever, there was more of a buzz, there was more energy just behind everything. We had better fighters here. This just sums up where UK boxing is right now, first and foremost. And then the actual fights, I've actually thought the Fisher fight was the most enjoyable, and that was complete shit. So that kind of lets you know my thoughts. The actual fight itself with Helenius, difficult one, because Helenius just isn't durable at all himself. Like, he's never proven to be particularly durable. We knew he was going to drop as soon as sort of AJ landed. It was just a question of, does he still have it to land? Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was looking at AJ, and look, I have my theories on AJ. I think he overthinks everything. So everyone, when they're saying he's mentally not there, they're spot on, right? He is overthinking everything from how he wants to be portrayed. So my theory on the him walking out is actually him trying to look cold and vicious and be more like Mike Tyson, for example. He wants to show everybody that he didn't care about Helenius. He's here to do damage.
Coming out to the Godfather music. What the fuck was that about? I mean, it was bizarre. Carry on. The whole thing was fucking bizarre. Carry on anyway.
Yeah, I think Shevin mentioned it. He's just... he ain't the person he's trying to be. Like, he grew up in Watford. Yeah, Watford is not exactly fucking... do you know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah, obviously.
It's not that bad.
It's not easy, but it ain't fucking Brixton, is it? Let's be fucking real.
Yeah, and he was a runner. He was like a weed runner, basically. Like, look, he's a big bloke. I can't imagine that you would want to get in a fight with him and what have you. But he wasn't a big time drug dealer. He was nothing, right? And he's always had orders from a young age, right? From like 16, he's been coached, drilled. Everything's been on a plate for him, really, since obviously early days. And I think that's showing in the ring. He's got a coach who's advising him to do things, but he's unable to use his actual brain to go, right, this only needs a straight, like, double jab, 1-2, this will finish this fight off. He's like, what have I been taught? Let me showcase this. Let me try this. Let me try that. And it just doesn't work. He doesn't have any natural fighting ability at a certain level. And that's showing now. Now that the confidence is gone, it just isn't there. The ability isn't there. When I listened earlier, they were talking about, I think it was Abdul was saying this is a good way to see how Fury and AJ would look. I think in stature, I kind of agree. The distance, the stature, but obviously Fury will be moving laterally so much better than Helenius, and actually puts a little bit of pop in his shots. I think that would be one-sided, and on the inside, I think actually Joshua's got absolutely no chance on Fury when he's leaning on him and stuff.
No, listen, I don't think I can't really dispute anything you're saying. Let me ask you, and then, because guys, we've got 5 minutes to go, and then we're heading out. I've got XY to call in, and that's it. He's the last one calling in, guys. Mr. Anderson, if you were promoting Anthony Joshua, how would you move him? Would you move him towards Wilder next and say, fuck it, just go out there, cash out, get put on the highlight reel, maybe win, and then that's it, rejuvenate your career? But mate, one thing I will say about Anthony Joshua, Mr. Anderson, is he hasn't really fought for title. Maybe he's the kind of fighter that he just needs to fight for titles. Maybe that's it. Maybe he just needs to be out there when there's a title on the line, when there's a bigger golden reach. Maybe we get to the best of Anthony Joshua. I'm trying to be a bit more thingy there. What do you think about that?
No, you know what? The last few performances of AJ has actually made me question one of my favourite fighters in Usyk, because Usyk didn't look good at heavyweight against anybody, but he looked good against AJ. AJ has looked terrible against everybody pretty much since Ruiz. He's looked terrible. I haven't enjoyed him since Vladimir Klitschko, if I'm honest. The Parker fight, everything. I don't think AJ is particularly good at all at the moment, or since his confidence has dropped. And I question how good is Usyk. I know styles make fights, But actually, AJ is petrified of engaging with anybody at this point, even shadows, right? So it's to the point where I'm like, actually, we'll see how good Usyk is against Daniel Dubois, right? Who's awful at the world level in terms of the elite level. So he should deal with him really comfortably. So let's see how that fight goes. But it's making me question the whole division with Joshua being so booty. The way I would promote him, I would just stick him in with Wilder. I just think get the money and go. The Saudi money's there. And look, you never know. He might pull off a outstanding victory. I personally don't see it. And I agree with everyone. I think he'll be shitting himself at the weigh-in. You can't talk to Wilder like, oh, is there a problem? Wilder will spark you out there and then. It's, I think that's going to be probably more interesting than the fight.
I muted myself. Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. Anderson. I really appreciate that. And you should call back in, bro. You should call back in.
I try to when I can. Just it's just time.
Timing, innit? All right, brother. Take care of yourself, man. Thank you very much, bro. See you soon.
Bye.
See you soon. Last caller of the day. Gee, it's been 3 hours, 21 minutes. 3 hours, 20 minutes. XY, you there?
Yes. Hello there, Mr. Skeletor.
Hello. Give us your thoughts, XY.
Yeah.
How did you see the fight going?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's been pretty well summed up so far on the stream, but you know, what was going on in AJ's head, I don't know what's going on, but it's not nice. All right. That ring walk, it was just so confused. You know this kind of classical feel to it. It just reminds me of that, this whole kind of persona he puts on. Trying to be all philosophical. It's like he's trying to be some kind of Renaissance figure. Like trying to make it all regal with this violin player, and then it just switches to dance music. I don't even know what it switches to. Yeah, sums up.
It made no sense, did it? It was a complete mismatch, isn't it? That DJ's smoking crack. How do you go from fucking the Godfather music to Hard House? I still need to work that out. They need to ask AJ. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, just sums up his state of mind. And I'm not the biggest boxing fan, so my opinions won't be as well versed as perhaps some of the other ones given. But I've seen the fight with Wilder. I watched it on the stairs with my brother because it was quite a short one. He just showed me a 1 minute clip. And the comparison was just crazy. Wilder just went straight in for it. But AJ, he's all cagey, like he's scared. He's got his guard up like it's a 3v1 in Reading jail. He's scared.
Oh no, that is what it is. All right, brother. Well, sign us out. You've got 351 people listening to you. You say you don't know too much about boxing, so you don't know too much about boxing. You got to make us all laugh. 350 people here. It's a Saturday night. I've run out of patience. I'm sweating.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here talking to a microphone for no reason. Make me laugh. You got 10 seconds. Go.
Oh, yeah, you put me on the spot, but yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for the opportunity. Yeah, be safe.
Well, you sound like you do sound quite Time Boothist, actually. I have to say, you got Time Booth whole flow going on there.
No, but seriously, thanks for that.
No, okay, thanks for that, bro. Take care, mate. Take care.
Be safe.
Take care. Okay, we are done and dusted. 354 people in the chat. Let's have a look here. Let's go for your final comments. Albie Reynolds says Joshua should bring in some of his Reading jail mates for Wilder sparring. Jesus fucking Christ almighty. What's wrong with you guys, man? Yo King says stealing bars. I hate stealing bars, man. The other day, Yo King, OJ the Juice Man was talking about how fucking Soldier Boy stole his bars. We just don't play with that game, man. Don't steal a nigga flown, man. Don't steal a guy flown, man. Michael Thomas says, I know you guys, I have to be honest with you, right? Let me leave you with this. So back in the day, yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the day, do you remember I used to say, look, good performance from Anthony Joshua, yeah, but I'm still not convinced yet about him being the best heavyweight in the world, right? And do you remember the days I used to get so much flack? Do you remember these days, like when I used to come on and do Anthony Joshua post fights, and I used to say, look, it was a good performance from Anthony Joshua, but hand on heart, I'm not quite sure this guy is the best heavyweight in the world. These days, if you look at how that's now, it's been a complete 180. If you look at the conversations that we were having a long time ago
compared to the conversations now. It's unbelievable how the opinion of the boxing public changes in that way. Now, today, I do a call-in, and I almost find myself defending Anthony Joshua. It's fucking crazy. Like, we've got a fucking barrage of callers saying, he's done, he's finished, he's finished. This guy's finished. Like, this guy's done. This guy's finished. Like, stick a fork in him, he's done, etc., etc. Who's this? Hold on 1 second. Michael Thomas, you're live on the air. 228 in the chat.
What's happening,
Oh,
bro?
what? Bro, I thought you was a. Do you know what? I was about to ban you, because I literally thought you was a troll. So I just put you straight
Sorry,
on.
bro.
I'll put you straight. I'll put you straight on the spot, But a man stood tall and responded though, unlike AJ tonight. Yeah, a man came out to throw punches, innit? Didn't hide behind the jab. Go on, brother. Let's have it quickly. Let's go on.
Let's have it, yeah. Quickly, basically, AJ cannot beat Wilder. Let's get the witness protection out. There's nothing.
Witness protection.
Witness protection for too long, brother. Witness protection's been for too long. It took him 8 rounds to beat Wilder's leftovers, and all the AJ man, them all the UK, whatever his fan. Where's his fan base gone?
No fan. He got no fan base because he lost. He
got
lost
no fan
that fan
base.
base after Usyk. He lost that fan base after
No,
Usyk.
Andrew Ruiz lost the fan base. Let's be real.
Yeah.
The first fight. So why are they thinking about AJ's with Derek James? Derek James is one of the best trainers in the world, yes. But Derek James can't change his efficiency. The efficiency is there to see. It's there to be seen. It's there to be seen. Who's he gonna beat? Joyce? Who's he gonna? They could have put who? Joyce? I think Joyce will beat him, grind him down. Could be a 50-50, 60-40 to Joyce, because Joyce took a beating from Zhang. Zhang, he can't beat Zhang. He can't beat Hergovich. He can't beat Frank Sanchez. Could have been a rebate. He can't beat Andy Ruiz. So who's he gonna fight? He could have fight Martin Okoli. Why is he fighting? Why is he fighting Helenius Artek? Why is he fighting him?
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a quick question about his mental state, because I still think, like more than tonight, more than ever. I honestly thought the Usyk thing was 100%. Like, I thought that was a one-off in it. Like, the whole roadman thing. Damaged him. But listen, the post fight Usyk. Honestly, I thought, okay, look, he made a mistake in it. Like, he just wasn't on it that day. But if you look at him acting like a roadman in the weigh-in, and then you look at him trying to
the roadman from Helenius.
He's gone.
Helenius, he said, "Oh, do you want Helenius?" He was trying it with Helenius. Why is he trying it with Helenius for?
Wouldn't try it with Dillian White though. If Dillian White was standing there, that'd be a
trying
completely
with
different story.
Dillian White the first fight. He won a fight with Chisora.
Not gonna happen.
He should have. He could have rematched. What's the guy named? Charles Martin. Baby Miller.
Baby Miller's a good one. That's a damn shame. Baby Miller.
So why he never fight Baby Miller?
Yeah, but I think obviously when Baby Miller failed about 173 tests, that he was blackballed from boxing. But here's my point to you: do you think that the fame and celebrity is what has actually finished him as a fighter, rather than the fact that it's all these losses? Do you think that it's just gone to his head? Because he clearly doesn't look of sound mind to me. I'm just being real.
No, the architect. When look, Tyson Fury beat Klitschko, the architect, and said, "Oh well, he was a paper champion because Tyson Fury went through his mental health or whatever, or steroids, whatever they want to call Tyson Fury." To me, Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world for me by far. I think he is. I don't know why he don't fight Usyk business or whatever, or he's on roids. Who cares? But AJ he hasn't fought Tyson Fury. He hasn't even fought the best of Britain, Daniel Dubois, Joyce. He hasn't even fought the best of Britain. So when he was having them 3 belts in unified, in America, he hasn't even gone back to America. You got American trainer. Why is he not fighting America?
So what you're saying is what done him. So what you're saying is what done him really was too soon, innit? Because you got them belts off Charles Martin, and after you got them belts off Charles Martin, he couldn't really drop down the level, could he?
Yeah, but Chris Eubanks Senior had an interview on TalkSport with Simon Jordan just a couple of weeks ago. He said, 16 fights can't make world champion. You got to go to America and learn your trade. Never Chris Eubanks Senior said that.
Yeah. I've heard him say that before, yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. AJ was fast tracked, wasn't he? He was fast tracked, wasn't he? Fast tracked.
He's a cheap 2.0 Frank Bruno. That's what I look at AJ. He's a cheap 2.0 Frank Bruno. But back in the day, there was primitive fights like Mike Tyson. He got locks against Lennox Lewis, Frank Bruno, Bone Crusher Smith, those type of guys. Better era boxers than now. This era,
the real bad man.
yeah. So you can respect Frank Bruno. He was limited, had a fantastic jab and right hand. But ain't AJ got that? The set. His uppercut was the best. Was in the best in division when he hurt Klitschko, when he put down Klitschko. But Klitschko was coming off 2 years off the sofa. So who was his best win? A prime fighter, like not even a washer. Josie Parker was okay. He lost against Ruiz against New Zealand. I think Ruiz beat him.
Yeah, same here.
So who was his best win? Povetkin was his best win. That's all we can say about Joshua.
It is what it is, brother. Brother, thank you very much for calling in, my man. Bless up, man.
Brother. Bless up, bro. Bless.
Take care, bro. Respect. Big up. There it is. Look, let the yard man them sign us out, yeah? Guys, remember AJ is still learning. Fucking hell. Listen, guys, I really appreciate you all. We still got 330. You guys like the selection of callers we've had tonight, don't you? Great caller. You guys love these callers we got calling, and these callers need to call back in. Guys, Mrs. Ultra is fuming, because she can't get to sleep because it's like 1:10 in the morning, yeah? And I'm up here, yeah, talking to you guys, yeah? So, Bomba Clarté, I've got to go back to doing the day job, which is actually doing something with software. I'm about to go and do a course on Docker, okay? So if anybody knows about the layered file system, leave me a comment in this comment section. Tonight we hit 500. I think 498 we hit in the chat, which is decent numbers for us. We've hit 1,300 before, so it is what it is. But we hit 500 in the chat. Numbers are good. I really, really appreciate the support from all of you tonight. I hope you think I've tried to be fair, and I've tried to be as fair as possible. Ultras biased and whatnot. It is what it is. If you have time to hit the like before you leave, please feel free to hit the like. If you want to be part of the chat, please feel free to subscribe. Maybe if we have time tomorrow night, we'll see. If we still have a YouTube channel, and if we have time tomorrow night, and maybe we can get some people together. Riku was asking to come on, actually. So if you want to hear from Riku, let me know, because Riku actually said to me he wants to come on Sunday. And last time I checked my calendar, tomorrow's Sunday. So take care of yourself and take care of each other.